He needs that light put on him. I don't know if Gage, can you do that? I think it plugs into the side of his computer while we're waiting on people to hop on there. I doubt it's plugged in. Let me guess he unplugged it. Classic move by him every time. Every damn time. Fuck me. All right, while we're getting some listeners on here, I'm going to get our beverages going. Oh, fuck you, motherfucker. Ah, fuck. I'm having a problem over here. I don't fucking dare it is. There it is. No, you don't turn it down. You just got to get used to it, buddy. I ain't trying to be a dick. Turn it down a little bit. I'm just fucking with you. Or change the color to yellow. Change it to yellow, turn it down 3 notches. I forgot you have a pale, bald head. What's up, Shiner Man? We're about to get started. We're doing something a little different tonight. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a real good time. Good time. All right. Give ourselves a little. I'm okay. Enjoy it, bro. All right, we ready? There it goes. No talking in the background. You can listen. No talking. Jen. Justice, your mic is off, and Peanut is too. Thanks for letting me know that, bro. I'll get that taken care of here. Gordon can hear you.
Gordon, can you hear us?
How about now, Gordon?
You know how helpful it is that he just told me that? Should be good now.
Oh, yeah. It's always good.
Can you hear him now, buddy?
Check.
Ooh, it's buzzing. All right, we're going to get started here. Welcome to American Whiskey, Sipping and Solving. There's times in our lives where people tell us monsters don't exist. But what I do know is not only do they exist, but sometimes they live among us. And today, we're going to dive deep into the most compelling true crime story. We're going to focus on the tragic case of Lacy Peterson, a story filled with love, loss, and controversy. We'll explain the evidence that led to many to believe that her husband, Scott Peterson, was guilty, while also considering the possibility that he could be innocent. So let's unravel the complex narrative together. All right, guys, welcome back to American Whiskey. As you saw that intro at the beginning, we are doing a segment, what we call Sip and Solve edition of American Whiskey. This will be our second case that we've started, and a lot of you are going to know what it is. This is the case of Lacy Peterson, who went missing out of Modesto, California. But before we do that, we're going to do what we always do, go around the horn, talk about what we're sipping on. Tonight, I'm sipping on a Bastard Bourbon Whiskey, handcrafted in Middletown, Ohio. We just drank on this a couple days ago. Mixed it with some Coke, and I'm also having a Michelob Ultra. Justice League?
I'm drinking my good old trusty Boosh. and I poured the last of Booker's Ronnie's batch that got some high praise from us.
And that bald-headed, sexy dude.
Hey, everybody.
Is your headphones too hot? Is that why you got one off your ear?
Yeah. I'm sipping on a Bush.
Tell him when it's
latte.
better. He can adjust it.
Yeah.
So you're sipping on a Bush.
Bush.
Is that better?
Perfect. Up just a little bit.
How about
Anything
now?
else you're sipping on right there? That's it.
Oh, I had a little popcorn Sutton. I had a little Crown right here I'm fixing on, and I got some of this sweet tea.
God, you got a lot of going on over there.
I got to keep a variety, you know.
All right. So today, again, as you heard in the intro, we're going to talk about the tragic case of Lacy Peterson. I'm going to set the stage up for us for our conversation. I'm going to share quickly the story. Both of you know the case, but I've studied quite a bit. You'll know the case once you hear it. You'll be the only American that's never heard it if that's the case, Dylan. So, but what it is I'll start. We'll dive into I'll set the stage. Let's do that. Lacy Denise Peterson was born May 4th, 1975 in Modesto, California. She was described as a bright, vibrant woman with dreams of starting a family. And in 1997, she married Scott Peterson, a man who initially seemed like a charming and devoted husband. As we fast forward to December of 2002, Lacy was an 8-month pregnant woman with their son Connor, and on December 24th, the day before Christmas, Lacy vanishes. She was last seen, which she was seen by a couple different people, eyewitnesses. She was last seen walking her dog, a golden retriever named Mackenzie, around their neighborhood. Now, this is where the investigation kind of begins. As soon as Lacy went missing, her family and friends began to search for her. Scott Peterson, however, became the focus of the investigation. His behaviors were scrutinized. His calmness during the media interviews raised suspicions. He claimed that he had gone fishing that day, but his timeline started to kind of unravel, and investigators found Scott's story to be inconsistent. He initially told police that he had gone to the San Francisco Bay, about 90 miles from their home, but he had no proof of this fishing trip. And the inconsistency only fueled the belief that he was possibly hiding something. Now, let's kind of discuss some of the evidence that they, against Scott. There's a lot of that we see. I mean, he's sitting in prison today for it. What led to his, Scott's conviction? Well, the most damning pieces came after Lacy's remains were discovered in 2003. The bodies were found in the San Francisco Bay, which were eerily close to where Scott had claimed to be fishing that day. And some of the forensic evidence was particularly chilling. I mean, they found Lacy's body, and it showed signs of having been weighted down, suggesting foul play, which we'll talk a little bit more about that, about the weighted down part. But furthermore, the remains of their unborn son, Connor, was also found nearby. We can talk about Scott's behavior. Scott's demeanor during the interviews was, it was a whole nother factor. Many viewed him as aloof and unremorseful. And during the televised interview, he seemed to struggle to express genuine concern for his missing wife, which led viewers to question his innocence. And here's the biggest thing. The biggest thing of all of it. Scott was having an affair with a woman named Amber Fry, a massage therapist at the time of Lacy's disappearance. Fry became a key witness when they revealed her relationship with Scott, stating that he had lied to her about a ton of things and being a widower. So he had told her while his wife was alive, he had told Amber that he was a widower. That doesn't help your fact. The affair painted Scott as a man who had much to gain from Lacy's disappearance. We can talk about the public and media reaction. The media frenzy around the case was unprecedented. The public was captivated by the story, often painting Scott as a villain. The coverage was relentless, with headlines labeling him a murderer before he even stood trial. This, we can sit here and talk about the sensationalist media and how they shape public opinion. The case became a national obsession, with many people already convinced that Scott's Scott was guilty based purely off of the media portrayals, which isn't fair. While social media was not really an influence back in 2002, as it is today, the case, set a precedent for how public opinion could sway a trial. And we've seen this since then. Today, cases can explode online, leading to a trial by social media. We see it every single day. Am I wrong? I mean, it's insane how it goes today. Now, let's shift gears a little bit and explore the arguments for Scott's innocence. And I'll tell you now, today I'm going to argue for Scott's innocence. I believe it. We got somebody else in the studio tonight that does not believe that he is innocent. But the lack of direct evidence, the prosecution's case was largely circumstantial. There was no direct evidence linking Scott to Lacy's murder. There was no DNA, no murder weapon, and no eyewitness testimonies placing him at the crime scene. Now, were there any alternative suspects? Some believe the police did not adequately investigate other potential suspects. I will discuss about the people across the street. There was a break-in, same day, same time, across the street, and we'll talk about that. But they were barely looked at. And or we could look at other evidence that points to another individual who could have been involved in Lacy's disappearance. But listen, let's talk about Scott's demeanor. Everyone wants to find him guilty by his demeanor. Scott's behavior can be interpreted in many ways. For some, when you're in a bad situation, you're calm. But automatically, because his calmness, he was indicated with guilt. While others argue, and I argue, it could be a coping mechanism in a highly stressful situation. You don't know the way that you would handle a situation until you're there. All right. The trial and the verdict. The trial began 2 years later, June 2004, drawing immense media attention. The prosecution presented their case with emotional testimonies from Lacy's friends and family. They painted Scott as a man who had everything to gain by eliminating his wife. Key moments in the trial. We can highlight the significant moments in this trial. There's tons of them. I'm sure we're going to hear Peanut talk about those, such as emotional testimonies and how they swayed the jurors. Discuss the role of the jury in the deliberations. We're going to do that tonight. And the verdict that came November 12th of 2004. Scott was convicted of first-degree murder for Lacy and second-degree murder for Connor. This verdict shocked the world. But it also reinforced the belief among others that justice has been served that day. Since the trial, and this is what hits me. Since this trial, Scott Peterson's legal team has pursued appeals, citing issues with the trial process. They argue that he did not receive a fair trial due to the media bias and the inflammatory nature of the evidence presented that day or that case. We can talk about the new evidence or the insights that have emerged since the trial. There's been plenty of interviews and Peanut documentaries. Public interest in this case, over the years it's been wild. So I want to hear what everyone's opinion or, has been on this case. Has it shifted over time like mine has? And what do you think now about Scott Peterson? Has any of this new evidence that you're seeing on these documentaries or reading the books changed your perceptions? I mean, as we discuss, let's reflect on some of the ethical considerations surrounding this case. What responsibility does the media have in this case? How can they balance informing the public and preserving the integrity of the legal process? That's huge. Remember, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. You're never guilty going into the court of law.
Right. And
I'm going to let you touch on it. Well, let me finish what we got. We're almost there. I want to talk about it all. But I'm going to keep saying innocence until proven guilty. Now, let's look at, consider the toll that a high profile case takes on the families involved. Lacy's family lost a daughter and a grandson and a son-in-law that they loved dearly. While Scott's family faced the burden of all of that and his conviction. So where do we stand with the Lacy Peterson case? It remains a haunting story of love, loss, and the quest for justice. I can hear you typing, bro.
I know, I'm looking at something.
While the evidence against Scott Peterson is compelling, the possibility of his innocence cannot be dismissed outright. As we wrap up today's beginning of this episode, I want to encourage everyone, to consider the complexities of this case. How do we define guilt? I mean, where does that come from? And how much does the public opinion shape the outcomes of these trials? So I appreciate you listening to me as we cram, the first 10, 15 minutes of this into a small little section. But now what I want to do is talk about the case. Dylan, you were about to say something. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was on my flow and I wanted to read what we had and cram it in so we could talk about it. But you rudely interrupted me, dickhead.
No, so I don't know much about this case. But one thing that I have read, and Sturge already hit on it with new DNA and everything, this has actually been picked up by the Innocence Project.
Yes.
And that's only been around since 1992. They've had 251 victories to date of wrongfully convicted people, and 203 out of those 251 was with new DNA. So the fact that they're picking this up, it leads me to believe they have something.
And what's even crazier is Scott Peterson's sister-in-law, okay, which would be Lacy's sister. Or sorry, I believe sister-in-law, it was his brother's wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I misspoke there. But she has evidence that she claims that proves the innocence. She says there's evidence that was completely ignored that shows Lacy was alive after he left for the day. And with that we can include the, I think I said something about the dog right in the park. She walked the dog in the park, and there's people that saw, that whole thing. So it's really weird that our comments are coming up Facebook user and not.
Well, that's all. What the hell?
That's all what?
I want to refresh mine to see if it fixes it.
So Peanut, I want to hear what your thoughts are on this case. I kind of told you what I was thinking, but what are some of the things that you have in mind?
Well, I personally, he's guilty as hell. I mean, it's just too much. It don't add up. Too much stuff that, he has done. They have found.
What have they found?
Like the supposed boat anchors.
He had a boat.
Yeah, but there was nothing.
If my wife comes up missing, don't go look at mine, because I made homemade anchors for my boat.
But he had one anchor in the boat, and there wasn't even a line tied to it. But yet there were spots where he had made 4 anchors, or 4 or 5 anchors. I didn't bring my notes with me. It was 4.
You ever tried to make an anchor?
Oh, yeah, I mean,
sometimes they crumble, babe. You can't find someone guilty over anchors.
But here the body's weighted down. You got anchors. It's within, the body's found within minutes of where he was talking about, and he recalls the sign. Out of that whole day, he recalls the sign on the thing. Now,
on what thing?
On the little island.
Mm-hmm.
Then his demeanor during it all. He's had a girlfriend. He's already stated that she's,
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
2 things. 1, do you know any men that have had affairs?
I know a few.
Did they murder their ex-wives?
Not necessarily.
Do you know anybody?
I know a
That-
couple that wish they would have,
But they didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's my other thing. At the end of the day, do you know anybody that cheated on their wives and lied to them and told the woman that they were cheating with, like, oh, I'm almost divorced, or I'm, lied to them and said that they weren't, married?
Yeah, but if you're the type of person that's going to go while your pregnant wife is at home for a holiday
Happens all
and
the time.
go hang out with your girlfriend,
Yeah, I think it
There's-
happens quite often. But listen, Peanut,
there's not care there at all.
is
So,
he
yeah,
guilty
it's
of?
very
Is he
possible.
guilty of being a douchebag?
100.
Yeah.
And I have a question.
But is he guilty of murder? Is the question.
Well, Peanut, you brought it up, and maybe one of you guys can answer this. I've heard both of you say that she was weighted down. Was it with boat anchors? Or did they throw rocks in a bag?
That was the homemade. This is where it gets
Throw it down,
tough.
baby. Show us what. Let's hear it.
This is where it gets tough. Do I believe he's guilty? Oh, hell yeah, 100%. But there is no hardcore evidence. You're doing circumstantial evidence, is what
You can't find
going
people
by.
guilty off of circumstantial evidence.
I mean, you can't. But the question here is,
Sorry. Go ahead.
do you feel like he's guilty or innocent? Oh, he's guilty 100%.
Listen, we just had.
I need more evidence.
I had to go to Facebook for some reason. StreamYard's acting up funny, so I didn't see who's saying what. But Corey said that she's actually heard before, and she said, "I'm going through a divorce," and he was completely lying. So the point is, just because someone's a dude, like, and do I think he was sad that his wife and kid were dead? No. It
No.
probably was. To him, it probably was a. But if you watch his interviews and then you go and you watch, who was the dude? I think it was California, where the dude put him in an oil field. Oh my God, what was his name? He put him down in he worked for an oil field and ended up dumping his 2 daughters down and his wife down. Chris Watts. Do you know who Chris Watts is? Or am I just the only weirdo that knows this shit?
I've heard the name. I'm not.
So pretty much he killed his wife and 2 daughters because he was cheating, and he worked at an oil field, and shoved them down the oil, whatever you call it. And if you watch his interviews, you knew he was guilty. Well, by the way he was acting. But when I go back, it might have been Oklahoma. It might have been. I for some reason I was thinking, I don't remember. Someone look that up. But I thought he looked guilty as hell. But when I go back and I go through all these interviews, I spent like 9 hours one day going through all these interviews that he did. And not at any point did I think like the way that he was reacting made him sound guilty. I just thought the way that he acted made him sound like a douchebag. And his father-in-law, do you know what he told his father-in-law he was doing? This is the only part that was like, man, that's odd. He told his father-in-law he went golfing
on Christmas Eve.
But then he tells the cops that he went fishing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy's obviously a master manipulator. I mean, he knows how to manipulate. This isn't the first time he's done this.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Chris Watts, who murdered his 2 daughters and wife because he was having an affair.
Scott said the same thing.
Scott did do the same thing, but that doesn't mean that. Well, you think Scott did the same thing?
Well, that he did. He told his father-in-law and them and his in-laws, because the day before he took his wife over there to get her hair done by her sister, like he always does. And the mother was there, and he told everybody he's going golfing.
Yeah.
Well, then he turns around and tells the cops he's going fishing.
Have you ever heard of the Innocence Project? Dylan just brought it up. They don't take your case unless they know you're innocent.
They do not pick up very many cases.
Well, there's, like I said before, there's a lack of
circumstantial evidence.
Yes. There's
no
real
lack of
hardcore.
circumstantial evidence. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence.
There's no hardcore evidence,
right.
I should say. But I mean, there's too many things all don't add up. I mean, he's a master manipulator, anyways. I mean, he's a criminal. They know how to do this stuff. This isn't his first go around at an affair. She's 8 months pregnant. He didn't want a kid to begin with.
I think.
So I mean, he's been playing the system pretty good. Nobody knew a lot of this but him and her.
I think when you look deeper into it, though, and you realize, the fact that the other thing that made me think that he possibly was guilty, he got pulled over on the way to the golf course, supposedly. He had thousands of dollars in cash. He dyed his hair blonde, his goatee blonde, and he had his brother's passport.
And he had survival gears.
Survival gear, yeah, like to go out in the woods.
That screams a little guilty, but
it doesn't make you guilty. It makes you fucking scared that you're going to go to prison for something you didn't do.
Right. And
if I knew I was going to go to prison for something that I didn't do, I knew I was going to go for the rest of my life, possibly face the death penalty, which he was found guilty with the sentence to death, but it was taken off.
Yeah.
He got life in prison. Later. But with that being said, if I knew that I didn't kill somebody and I knew I was going to get life in prison, and I know that I'm going to get found guilty, I'm going to fucking try to get out of here.
Yeah, but if you're guilty as hell, you're going to try to get out of there.
So you can't use that to make you guilty. You can't use that to make you guilty.
I'm just going to stand by. The Innocence Project doesn't pick up that many cases.
Can we look up what they're saying?
They have. So what I was reading is they took it to the courts. They have 14 things that they wanted DNA testing done on, and
which was duct tape found in a van
that got approved.
Yep,
there was going to test
a van went up in flames not far from the crime the same day the house was robbed across the street. And they found shit inside of there that could be tied to the case, and I'm telling you,
they said there was a blood stain on a mattress in that van. They would not test.
If her blood is found in there, Scott Peterson is innocent.
But the judge at the time said no to everything except for the duct tape.
Right. But if they find,
but all you need is one thing on that duct tape to show up somebody else that's not Scott.
Yep.
And they're gonna have to test everything.
Well, that's that's one person saying it too. We haven't seen any evidence of it. I mean, it could just be saying
they listen. Hold on, I'm unbiased here. I know nothing about this case, but they did say there was human DNA on that duct tape that did not belong to Lacy Peterson.
Right.
And they did not test Scott.
Yep.
You got two druggies. Druggies rob houses.
And women are nosy.
And women are nosy, but
what if that house across the street's getting robbed? But Pina, if the house across the street that's getting robbed, you don't think my wife shouldn't go over there and nosing around? She would.
I doubt that.
Bull fucking shit. You don't understand her, dude. There's times where I'm like, get in the fucking house. Like, dude, she is so nosy. Like that, they're brave. Women are braver. They're like, oh, I heard a noise. Go check it out. Yeah, but then when there's somebody breaking in a fucking house, and they're like, they go around back and look, and she's home by herself. And let's say this: she takes her dog for the walk. There's no doubt that she took him for. There's no doubt that she took this dog for a walk. People saw her. But the police say he killed her that morning or late that night, put her in the boat or whatever. But people saw her walking a dog. So she's walking the McKenzie, they were golden retriever, walks around, I thought they were gone and out of town. What's that car doing there? So what's the women do? They're nosy as hell. Beautiful, amazing, lovely, nosy, right? So she takes McKenzie up there. McKenzie's raising hell. And she realizes, hey, that's not the people that live in that house. And she goes to turn around. They snatch her up. And that's the last time that she's heard from. You cannot tell me that is not a fucking possibility.
So, sir, you said that they are trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm just going based on what you guys are saying. They're trying to say that he killed her in the morning and went and dumped her.
So what they think is he killed her that morning, okay? Possibly the previous night, so the 23rd or the 24th, Christmas Eve morning. Shoved her in the truck, took him over to the storage unit where his boat was, loaded her in there. No blood in the truck. No blood in the boat.
And he reported her missing the day after people saw her walking the dog.
No,
That's a lot.
no, that's not true.
That's what okay.
No, I know you don't want to, let me explain because I know you don't know the case well. So here's what Scott said happened. Okay. He wakes up in the morning. She's watching Martha Stewart and he actually recalls which episode she was watching. Remembered the recipe. The cops go back and he was right. Hold on, Peanut. Hold on, Peanut.
That was wrong. I thought.
No, that was not wrong. That's factual evidence, sir.
Okay.
That's guaranteed evidence. I don't mean to be an ass about it, but no, that's a fact. Peanut. They were making some type of rhubarb pie or some crazy shit. They went and looked at it.
It
Boom.
was something of a funny name.
It was a funny name. And I think rhubarb is a funny name.
Yeah.
So here's what he says. He says he's got to go get some work done. Kisses her. Hops in the truck, goes to a storage unit that he has where he keeps his boat and all. He was a fertilizer salesman. Keeps all the fertilizer in there. He's got a computer. He goes in there. He looks up stuff. They can go back and check that he actually did go in there, did send some emails, stuff like that. And then he takes the boat and goes fishing.
A boat that nobody even has a clue that he has.
Well, according to him, his wife knew. So again, whether you believe that or not, you can't disprove it.
Yes.
So he says he goes fishing. He has the slip that he went fishing. He has the bait that he used that he went to go fishing. To be fair, he's never been fishing before. He's never had a boat before. And he's doing it on a nasty ass Christmas Eve day.
And an anchor with no rope.
Again, we'll get to that. So then he says he gets home. He's walking around the house. Hey, Lacy, where you at? TV's off. But when he gets to the house, he notices the gate's open. I believe it was the gate that was open. He goes back in there, sees Mackenzie back there. And he shuts the gate, goes inside. It sounds, Corey, you're right. It sounds sketchy. But hold on now. So he goes inside. He gets a slice of pizza from the night before. Sits down, watches a little TV, takes his clothes off, puts them in the washer, does his laundry, takes a shower, does all that shit. A lot of people are like, oh, he's guilty there. I do that. I come back from fishing and I wash my clothes.
I mean, at this point, you don't know if your wife went to get food with somebody.
Well, and that's what he thought. Like, oh, they're making cookies at mom's house.
Right.
Then he calls over, have you seen her? No. Then he calls the police.
That's what I'm saying. The day after, okay.
It was the same day. It was the same day. This is all on the same day, 24th. But the police don't know. They think that Scott killed her, but they don't know. Was it that morning of the 24th or the 23rd? That night, the 23rd.
But if people saw her on the 24th, then
that's what I'm saying, Dylan. While he's supposedly fishing, some people saw Lacy Peterson in the park and around the neighborhood walking Mackenzie the golden retriever. There was multiple people that saw him. Peanut, how do you explain that?
They seen somebody, a female,
a pregnant woman walking a fucking golden retriever.
So there's only one pregnant woman
in that area. There was only one pregnant woman that big walking a golden retriever. Absolutely, yeah. There was they could find no other golden retrievers with 8-month pregnant women.
But the neighbor put the dog back in the yard.
Yeah, because a neighbor did. The neighbor never saw her walking the dog. The neighbor just saw the dog. That's what I'm saying.
To me,
she just disappeared, and then they found the dog. What'd Scott do? Come home, put a leash on, throw it outside?
To me,
I mean, if you're covering a crime, shoot.
I don't think you're thinking about that part.
No, to cover a crime like this,
you don't put a leash on a dog and shoo him outside.
No, there's just so much to it. You said the fishing spot was 90 minutes away?
Yeah.
So that's 3 hours drive time alone, not putting the time, putting the boat in, pulling it out, getting it in and out of storage, the time he spent at storage, the time he would actually need to clean. That's not at all in one day's work.
Gordon, I went fucking turkey hunting before, never been turkey hunting, got all the gear, didn't use it. Why? Because I've never shot a turkey. And if I come home, my family's missing, am I guilty? I don't think so.
Well, Gordon, from what I've read, is the mistress actually came out kind of against him, so she's not going to cover it up.
No, Amber Fry was 100% against him. Now, here's some bullshit that did happen. the night, and this will be Peanut. I'm surprised you haven't mentioned this, but I'm going to mention it for you. The night of the candlelight remembrance of Connor and Lacy, not a remembrance because they didn't know that they were dead at this point, but it was like, they do the candlelight thing, vigil. He is on the phone with Amber Fry, acting like he's in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't. He at this point, he doesn't know that she knows all this shit, right? He is faking that he's in Paris watching the ball drop or whatever it was there, Peanut. I don't remember exactly, but he was by the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, it's the New Year. He told him he was by the Eiffel Tower.
Doesn't make you guilty. It means this dude is wanting to fuck her. I know it sounds terrible. That sounds terrible. He lied a lot. I know somebody that cheats on people and they lie a lot. Yo, am I wrong?
No.
I mean, you're 100% right. I agree.
Doesn't make him guilty.
I mean, being a cheater, you're going to be a habitual liar.
For sure. You have to be, right?
But that does not make you a killer.
But why
doesn't.
else would a couple crackheads?
How do we know they were just a couple crackheads?
Oh, they were druggies.
Who?
The people burglarizing the house.
Were they busted?
Yeah, they came forward. They came forward.
Yes, they did. Why
Go ahead,
would
Peanut.
why would they kidnap a woman, drive her to the same place her husband's fishing at, and sink her body out?
Did you ever look at the autopsy evidence?
No.
There's a lot to say that she was alive longer than when the police said that she was killed. What does that tell you? Maybe she was kidnapped. I hate to say it, and hopefully we don't get banned, but I'm going to say it. They kidnapped her, they raped her, kept her alive for a few days. They see on the news that he was fishing in the marina and go and dump their body. Maybe she ends up having the baby while she's captive in their hands.
Criminals use the age.
What do we do now?
I think it was all premeditated.
Have you ever seen a druggie act outside of their norm?
I mean, yeah. But when they're all hopped up, do you see them having the brain and the willpower to hide this body?
I see a lot of high guys at work.
I mean,
I disagree. Most of the ones I've seen's out in left field. They have no clue what the heck they're doing half the time. I mean, these guys were methamphetamine.
No, it's all right, Corey. Type what you want, girl. It's all good.
You know, they're methamphetamine.
Listen, Peanut, what you have to understand, if they're breaking into a house, they're somewhat coherent at this point, right?
Well, they're getting the money to go get their drug, of course.
But if they're willing to go break in a house, you don't think they're drugged up and thinking like, hey, this woman just saw us and now she's headed back over to her house. It makes perfect sense why the dog went missing or why the dog was on a leash. They snatched her up into the van. I think we're going to see this come up. There was duct tape found in the van, same type of duct tape that was used on her.
All right. We all have dogs.
Unfortunately.
Some stranger comes up and tries to grab us and take us against our will. What is our dogs going to do?
None of my dogs would do shit.
My dog's going to wag her tail and think.
My dogs would not do a damn thing.
You've met my dog.
Yeah, but I think
your sons just walked in my backyard. They don't know them from Adam. They barked, raised hell. Who's to say that they didn't have a gun to come in here and kill me? Or kidnap me and shove me in a trunk?
Yeah.
Here's my point again.
Not all dogs have that protective nature.
Corey said big money for a prego pretty lady. That's probably true. A lot of fucking sickos out there.
Why? If they're robbing houses,
but I'm not sicko. I like a good looking pregnant woman. But
why
I ain't
would
gonna
they
kidnap
kill
them.
her versus?
I just told you. What if she had?
What if they? You get more off of
Who's to say that they didn't have her for a couple of days? Well, she has the baby, and they're like, "Oh fuck."
A couple $100,000 reward, and these guys ain't gonna
bring this woman in and say, "Oh, I found her with all the fucking sexual DNA that's all over her."
But to say people that are fucked up can't come up with a mastermind plan, look at another two people that are convicted of murder that are probably going to get out soon.
Right.
The
And I didn't
Menendez brothers.
I
They
didn't-
came up with a
Literally.
perfect plan. And they did drugs all the fucking time.
And they didn't do the crime, and they're still going to get out.
But what else gets me too is supposedly they've never
The baby
found,
was found, Corey.
yeah, but it was only the top part of her torso was found. So
That's what the ocean does to you.
I mean,
That's what
that baby
fish will
could have
do.
came out during that. The baby must not have been alive, but
The baby was found separate.
exactly. But if you're ripped in half because your legs are anchored down, and it's going to rip your body in half eventually, especially after.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think there's bodies that have not been discovered that were thrown in C.J. Brown Reservoir?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Why didn't they float ashore?
Well, you're talking a little different situation.
How
there.
so?
You don't have the waves and the undertows like what you do in the ocean.
Have you ever seen CJ Brown
On a rainy day.
on a rainy day or
Windy
just a
day.
windy day?
I mean, baby, when they opened the floodgate. But
So
no,
again,
you're not getting the type of rushing as what you do on.
okay, Peanut. Let's get back here.
Yep.
How do you know he did it?
You know, it's my gut instinct.
You ever met him?
No,
You did. You know what else?
but
Fucking. You know what?
That's the stuff a douchebag would do.
But
I'm not
I mean,
I'm
I told you too. I said when we talked about this earlier, and you said you don't know. I said, did I not? That I think he's guilty as hell, but they don't have the circumstantial evidence.
but
They
I'm
never
just-
found her lower part.
I'm just playing devil's advocate with all
probably
this stuff.
because a fucking whale ate it.
It's not what you think, it's what you can prove in court.
Exactly.
They didn't prove shit.
Nope. Other than circumstantial.
But this is what we know. Lacy Peterson was 27 years old. She was 8 months pregnant. She was beautiful. They were married for 5 good years. Everyone around them said, great marriage. How many people do you know that have thought they were married for a good 20 years and thought everything was good and find out somebody else was cheating?
I mean, this is the second time he cheated, and a lot of people put
You
on.
didn't
the
answer
act
the
and-
fucking question.
Oh, I was married 16.
Does
Right.
that make you a murderer?
No.
Okay, one of my best friends growing up, he was the electric guitar lead guitar player in our band. And I hope I'm not gonna mention any names. His dad, after 20 plus years of marriage to his mom, the mom found out that he had kids and was seeing another woman for 20 of those years. Did he kill her? Do you think he was like, I'm gonna go kill him?
Some people just
He didn't.
are shitbags and have that rush to cheat.
That's
But
what I
he would-
think.
He was still coming home.
Coming
A
home,
lot of
what?
them do.
They all come home. They're that's just a
You
fluke.
really think he thought in his
he
head,
was
I'm going to
trying
kill my wife and my baby to
He
be with
was-
Amber Fry and get away with it? I don't think so.
Yes, he was wanting a relationship with her.
He still wants a relationship with her, from what I read.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Then why did the Innocence Project take his case?
Well, I'm telling you what, because it's all circumstantial.
No, it's because the media is what caused his fucking guilt. There was a juror that literally shed that crazy blue hair, who's part of the reason why this case is going to get put back in court. Guarantee it.
And I hope it does. And I hope they actually produce some legit evidence this time.
Well, in your eyes, you're like, the media didn't make him guilty.
Like,
The media made him guilty.
In all seriousness, when they test that tape, if it is not his DNA on that tape, he needs to be a free man.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
Straight up.
Let me ask you this question. What makes you guilty of murder, Peanut?
well, I mean,
I'm asking you a question, and it's simple. What
Well,
makes you?
now with the DNA, I mean, of course, DNA will come in.
What makes you say that you found out that someone said that I killed somebody, and I'm in court? What finds me guilty?
Well, you got to have DNA evidence. You got
Okay,
to have
so-
eyewitnesses.
Again, evidence, right?
Witnesses.
Witnesses, which is part of the evidence.
Concrete evidence.
What found Scott Peterson guilty?
Hearsay.
Circumstantial evidence.
No, media.
Hearsay.
Hearsay in the media.
The family-
Listen,
the family thought so too. Her family.
They thought.
Afterwards, what was all going on, his demeanor, the way he's acting. I don't know about you guys, but my wife comes up missing. I'm not going to be laid back and chilled like that. I'm going to be on the warpath looking, trying to get everything out there I can get out, taking every, path through the media.
Jason Davis said, I had an affair after 19 years and I didn't kill anyone.
Well, I'm not saying it,
But my
Not
question
with the
to you
affair.
is still standing. You said if you found out that I supposedly killed somebody and went to court, you're going to have my back when I tell you I didn't do it, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, unless there's evidence, dude, you're good. What
Yeah.
evidence did they have on Scott Peterson?
And
None. They had just as much circumstantial evidence to say that he was innocent as much as they did that he was guilty. You cannot find somebody guilty on the lack of evidence that they had. They didn't have any evidence.
it should have been a hung jury. But if you want to know my personal opinion, he's guilty. They just didn't do the time to get the
But
evidence.
if you have what do
They
you mean?
had the
2
evidence.
years.
They just refused to run the DNA.
They had the options to
They
do
literally
it.
said, we found human DNA, but we're not going to use it.
Well, and that is
That's a mistrial.
Peanut makes
Exactly.
me drink my ass off, dude.
that's a mistrial. Even
So are you going back where
one-
are you back to this? You think he's guilty, but he shouldn't be in prison and they should do another trial.
exactly. That was my story from the beginning. He's guilty as hell. I could tell you that.
From what
But
evidence?
can you?
But they don't have the evidence.
What
And-
evidence? But
and you got the woman in the trial, the jury does all this media crap and this and that. She right there
I like
is a
Corey.
hung jury.
Who's Corey? She's a new listener or something. This is interesting. But she said from listening to you guys, they had no hard proof. So I'd have to say he didn't do it if you can't prove it. That's exactly what I'm saying. If you're in court,
in a court of law, but you know as well as I do, he did it.
no, dude, you are in it. This is what you got to understand. I don't give a fuck what this is going to sound really harsh when I say this.
Everything you say is harsh, Big Sturge.
Okay,
Let her rip.
okay. Let's say you're a teacher and a student says you had sexual intercourse with them, but you didn't, right?
Yeah.
But then WHIO takes a story and they're like, this social studies teacher is banging this student.
They're immediately getting fired with lack of evidence.
Fired, doesn't matter anything. But what they don't share is the fact that he's still innocent until that he's proven guilty. So let's say he goes to court, right? And he's proved innocent. Do you think he's going to go back teaching?
Nope.
But
He's black.
Why?
Again,
Why?
You
No,
got-
why?
I'm going to go on the other foot.
The media.
I'm going on the other foot.
The media. They hold pretty much their own trial and convict people.
Well, I mean,
No, Corey, we do a lot of out liquor talk, but we do a lot of different segments, and this is just our true crime segment.
This was just a random.
Yeah, this is actually just a random episode.
and I hope it's the beginning of more to come.
But Peanut, do you
I
understand
love
what
all
I'm
you.
saying though? A social studies teacher, the kid doesn't like the teacher, so they're like, he harassed me. She's automatically guilty, right? Because he's touching a child, she's touching a child. But then let's say they're innocent, they found innocent, right? Their life's ruined, okay? Or they're found guilty because society says he's guilty.
But Jason, the reason that is because society's fucked.
Yeah, it should never be that way. You should always be innocent until the other can prove that you're factually
Sturge,
guilty.
so question to
guilty.
you and Peanut.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever actually been selected for jury duty?
Yes.
Sturge?
So Corey, interesting. I want you to ask the same question. So Corey, I actually started podcasting. What I did was true crime. It was called Reviewing Report. That's all I ever did. So I'm in love with this topic as well. What was your question again? I'm
Have
sorry.
you ever been selected for jury duty?
one time, but my wife it was federal court, and I was gonna have to go to Chillicothe, get a hotel and all this, but we had just had the baby, and I was able to say, like, I couldn't do it. But other than that, no.
So I've gotten the letter 4 times, and I've always been dismissed.
You got a bad Social Security number.
Shit, dude.
I've been dismissed every time because when they're asking the questions, straight up say, unless you have evidence, you can't prove someone guilty. And
it's true. So
and then they'll be like, all right, we don't want you.
But Dylan,
you say you believe in capital punishment, and then they don't want you either.
Dylan, here's the thing. With this whole Scott Peterson thing, and let's say the death penalty wasn't taken off because he was found guilty and put to death. A lot of people don't realize that.
And he won appeals to get that.
Yes.
It got taken off. But let's say he didn't win those appeals and he's a dead man now.
But on the other hand, I think you got a lot of that is also because of all the social media and all the attention the social media has given this case. The law in that area just wanted to get it done and over with.
I don't think
we
so.
got to prove it.
The reason he was found guilty was because of the media.
Yep.
100%. There was no factual evidence. These jurors, the one with the blue hair, she was the worst, right? They knew that they knew he was guilty before they took that. You have to be first off, you have to be a really amazing, strange, weird person to be able to go into nowadays to become a biased juror, right?
Yeah.
You don't sway either way. You're going in there with
you mean non-bias.
That's what I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. So that's why my true crime never took off, is because I was stupid. But no, so a non-biased juror, and you're never going to get that. Like,
never.
So is the system flawed? But like, you could still get people that are willing. They'd be like, I think he's guilty, but I have an open mind. Dylan, you remind me of one of those people. You remind me of a person I'd be like, this is what I think,
but this is what you can prove.
But if you prove me wrong, I'm gonna and if I'm questioning myself at the end of the day, you can't find somebody guilty. If you have a fucking doubt in your mind, you can't find somebody guilty.
Look, I told you guys before we even started tonight, I knew basically nothing about this.
Right.
And everything I brought up was based on what you guys said and stuff I was just reading
as we were going.
Going.
I heard it.
And
I loved it though.
If I'm sitting on that jury,
sound like you were playing with your penis, but I didn't know what it was.
Sit there for days and be like, you know what? We'll sit here.
Yeah.
I can't find him guilty.
No, and
I can be the lone person on the jury.
But Peanut says he's a killer. Peanut says he's a killer.
If I was in the jury, I'd be the same way because there's no real evidence. Now,
Peanut, you said,
he's guilty.
Do I feel that he's guilty? Hell yeah.
For what reason?
There's no
because he cheated on his wife.
No, there's many different.
What many different reasons?
Look at all this circumstantial.
Tell me them. Tell me the reasons.
You got a man buys a boat, ain't never been used.
Okay, a man buys a boat. They've never used the boat prior to it.
So if I go and buy a boat today, I'm a murderer.
No, but no, Dylan. Dylan's never been on a.
Your story's not. Your
story's. If Dylan bought a boat and takes it to the reservoir, this would be the first time he's ever.
Sturge gets dumped in a freaking trunk.
Yeah, and I'm dead. Did Dylan do it?
I mean, if you can't see the story straight, I mean, yeah, there's a straight sign of
he's a liar. Does it make him a murderer?
I mean, his stories actually line up.
It don't make him.
His stories did line up.
His stories line up with someone that's cheating.
The only stories that didn't line up was to his mistress. The only stories that didn't line up was what he told his mistress. And everything he told the cops does line up.
Not necessarily, because he's telling the cops one thing and telling them.
According to his father-in-law, he says one other thing.
Yeah. Is he trying to hide to his family that?
Or is his father-in-law trying to fucking nail the guy that killed his daughter?
Well, I don't know if we'll nail the guy that killed his daughter. I mean, there's a lot more there than what meets the eye.
There might be, but what is concrete evidence?
Like I said, I wish they had more concrete evidence. I could not sit in court and say this man is guilty without the evidence. But
Corey, I told you the whole story.
In my opinion, this dude's guilty as hell.
From what reason though? Because he cheated on his wife.
All the stuff they've been finding leading up to it.
What'd they find?
Well, you got the anchors.
That doesn't tell you shit.
why is this guy trying to make 5 anchors and only got 1 in the boat? Why is this anchor that he's got?
I hope you don't go through my concrete bags and ask me where the concrete go.
So if you got,
I've got multiple fucking bags where I tried to make concrete anchors for my old boat that I had in the driveway, and every time I took them, I'd go to take them out, they'd crack and they'd break.
So I'm going to say,
guess what? When you have your boat, didn't you have an anchor with a rope on it?
No, all I had was a rope because the anchors broke when I put them in the water.
So I'm going to say this real quick as well.
So, but if your anchor before you put it in the water, it had a rope on it.
Right.
All right. So why the hell would you have an anchor sitting in your boat without a rope on it?
Did they find
no
a rope?
Maybe he didn't use that anchor. Maybe that was a backup anchor. I had backup anchors.
Yeah, no rope.
Well, here's my thing.
Peanut, come on, motherfucker, dude.
If he was so clear and concise with hiding everything, coming up with this story, do you really think he would have left a fucking anchor in his boat?
Literally.
That shit would have been in a trash can.
But
because you know for a fact they're going to check your boat.
Obviously.
Why was there no blood in the boat? Where was the blood? Where was if he murdered his wife? Where was the evidence?
Is going to drive his wife's body 90 minutes away.
No, Corey, he didn't know a lot of detail.
To dump it in the island that he was at.
But Corey, I don't think that it was like, no.
And Jason just said it. I lied my ass off when I was cheating. I probably would have messed up my story.
Yeah, he was like, listen, sweetheart, she had a penis.
Oh, I mean, there was no woman.
There was no woman. That was the guy.
It was my friend. We met at the bar.
See, but that's but the dog, the lack of blood on.
It's just a quinky dink.
But that is the biggest. What can you say about the dog, though? Let's talk about the dog. Multiple people saw her walking the dog.
Or a pregnant woman walking a dog.
There was no other 8-month pregnant woman with a golden retriever.
Did they know her by name?
One person did.
One did. And how close did they?
Are they liars? Are they liars?
You could be you got the.
Oh, I'm listening.
Wish I wasn't. The media and all this putting all this crap out here, and someone will be like, I seen her out there that day, but it might not have been her. But because the media is brainwashing people, that's what they.
Hey, buddy, I'm telling you this: there's no fucking chance that he came home, put the leash on that dog, and left it outside without anyone noticing anything. Neighbors saw him leave. And then saw her walk the dog. You don't think there's any chance in fucking hell the people that broke in the house across the street kidnapped her and the dog took off? She's walking around the neighborhood, sees that happening, catches them in the act. They take her. The dog runs off.
And they just take her and dump her body right close.
No, I did not say that. I said I think they kidnapped her, and I'm not trying to be. This is gruesome. But they kept her. They raped her. She had the baby. They didn't know what to do. They saw on the news. They gave too much information on the news, first off.
They panicked.
And they said, well, they think he did it. He went fishing at San Francisco Bay, dumped her body off on the shore there. Didn't even need a boat at that point. And a while later, their bodies were found.
Within 2 days.
Yeah, what do you mean 2 days? It wasn't just 2 days.
How many days was it?
It was months. Hold on. I'll tell you. It was months. I don't want to get the facts wrong.
I mean,
I got it written down, but I can't.
How many captive stories do you hear of people being
April 13th, 2003. We're talking December 24th, 2002.
So
waiting.
She has this baby, and they keep this baby this long.
No,
that's happened in multiple captive stories.
No, they didn't keep it that long. They dumped the baby after the baby was born
and cut her body in half.
No, the ocean did that.
So the ocean couldn't have ripped her body in half after it.
Let me put your ass in the ocean and see what happens to you after fucking
the baby came out
6 months.
And the baby came out then after the body's been ripped.
No, I think they had the baby. They freaked out. They saw the news. They took the baby, the mom, and dumped them in the lake.
I don't buy it.
I mean, my thing is there's so many captive stories where they kidnap people, keep them for years, they get them pregnant. It
happened in Cleveland, Ohio. Remember, there's like 5 women. 5 women.
Yeah, but we're also living in like the main hub for
Sex trafficking?
sex trafficking.
Not
and-
Cleveland.
Not Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it might be now.
Oh, yeah,
But
it
dude,
is.
that's a whole different. We need
This
to do
was
that case.
this was literally a suburb.
yeah, like
like-
this. He was just real good. He was
Yeah,
good for
it was
many
a-
years.
It was a upper middle class suburb.
Peanut, honey,
Mhm.
listen to me, baby girl.
Oh,
I need
honey.
you to understand what I'm saying.
I'm telling you,
She was walking the dog, and like most women who think they're all sissies and can't go check the basement because they heard a noise, but they'll be nosy and go across the street because they're walking the dog and they see like, oh, I thought Frank and Susie were gone this weekend. What's that van doing? And they walk over and they're like, that's not Frank and Susie. And the cracked out Joe is like, oh fuck, she saw us, snatches her, throws her in the fucking van. Let's act like that's never happened. The dog takes the fuck off, and let's be honest, most dogs know where they live. Runs home. The neighbor's like, why is Mackenzie running around?
And
So
they're
they
gonna-
take the fucking dog, they put it in the backyard.
and they're going to keep her for months.
They could.
I didn't say
no.
months. It could have been weeks. She could have, just because she could have had an early, first off, all the stress, all the rape, all the fucked up shit she endured. You're not telling me she won't go into an early labor by a month?
And
By a month?
but would
I know plenty of women that have had
wouldn't the
babies
kid
a month
wash up?
early. What?
Wouldn't the kid wash up before that?
Not if
Not necessarily.
the fact that she washed up, they probably had it anchored correctly, or weighted
Or it wasn't
down,
anchored at all.
weighted down correctly, and just over time it opened the bag or whatever they were wrapped in.
Again, media found Scott Peterson guilty. It was not off of evidence. You're telling me there's no way two crackheads could have fucking kidnapped this woman?
If they were going to kidnap her, they'd have killed her right then and there.
No, not always, man.
You don't
A beautiful pregnant woman,
you don't
keep her around a little bit.
You don't-
Boom, she has a baby. Fuck.
Maybe their plan was to do a ransom. Then
would-
all the stress, baby, boom.
Boom.
Fuck.
I would love to see a criminal analyst or whatever they
Oh,
call
would
it.
you just make that up,
Analyst.
Chief?
Criminal analyst.
Creamy and knowledge. Julie just
Get them and look at them.
We're calling Houdini.
yeah, no shit. We summons Houdini from the dead.
I mean, these people are paid to do this.
And they fucked it up.
Well,
Bad.
maybe they didn't. Maybe they did a analog.
Well, let's make another word.
It's one of the big words, man. You know me. I ain't into the big words.
I
Blah,
mean, the
Maybe
fact,
they did him and it says, yeah, he's got the traits to do this.
It
Then
doesn't-
maybe they did them and said, oh, they don't even have these traits. These
Hold
guys
on.
are so fried, they don't even know where they're at.
hold on,
This guy.
Peanut.
Yep.
If a guy in a wheelchair comes up to you right now, does he have the ability to kill you?
Yeah.
What do you say? He has a knife, and he's trying to stab
Hey,
you.
bro,
What-
I'm just gonna tell
Yeah.
you, Gordon. They didn't even find the bottom half of her. So
what
how
are
can
you
you
gonna
find
do,
that?
Peanut?
They didn't even find the bottom half.
Tell me what I do.
You're gonna step around the wheelchair and be like, "You can't stab me if I'm behind you."
Yeah, maybe he's
Everybody has the ability to kill
maybe
someone.
he's got that ninjutsu shit.
Everyone has an ability to kill someone.
Oh yeah, everybody does.
If I'm on that jury, I'm with Corey. Not guilty.
But
No fucking chance in hell.
on a jury,
No, here's
Yeah,
what you
I
do.
could.
You take one of the deaths, and if he's found not guilty, and you finally do your fucking job that Modesto should have done in the fucking beginning, you can take the second death and try him by jury again and find him guilty of murder.
Exactly.
They should never have taken the two, put it in one. They
But-
should have
but
never done that.
Here's the fucked up part that they need to start realizing: when you find someone guilty with no factual evidence, how much are they about to pay this man when he gets let free?
oh yeah, a lot.
He'll be set for the rest of his life.
He won't
But
have to
does it-
work a day in his life.
But you know what doesn't happen? He'll never be with Amber. He'll never have his wife. He'll never have his kid. And it's sad. Granted, he's a cheating asshole, but he could have still been a good dad.
Could have.
I know plenty of dads that cheated or wives that cheated, and they're still good parents.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to cheat, you don't give a shit about them anyways.
That's not true.
That's not true.
So
I know plenty
so he
of
loves
parents
his
that
wife so much that he accidentally fell down and his weenus went in someone else.
I think some people are in bad marriages or make bad mistakes. Doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad parent.
Has
it don't make you.
Are you and you might be talking from like past experiences. Hopefully you're not, but maybe that's happened to you and you're like, no, it makes you no, if it's happened to you, you may feel a certain way, but it doesn't make the other, it doesn't automatically make if my wife cheated on me, let's just say she did. I'm brokenhearted, no doubt about it. We're going to Vegas, probably. The three of us. Probably Doug too, but he probably won't be able to go. So the three of us are gonna go to Vegas. We're gonna get some strippers. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a good time. But at the end of the day, what a shitty person she was cheating on me. But she took good care of me while we were together, and she's still a great mother.
Right.
End of fucking story. Mic drop?
But
has everyone here been loyal in every single relationship they've been in?
I have.
Yes.
I have. Have you?
I mean, I've cheated on girlfriends.
I've not. Well, sorry. My marriage, yes. I've cheated on girlfriends.
Cheating's cheating, right?
No, I always dumped them before I went on the next one. Hell, I could only handle one of them women at a time. They're all crazy as hell.
Yes, 100% on what, Corey? I'm interested. I gotta go pee. Can I do that? Are we allowed to do that in this podcast episode?
Yeah,
go
because
pee.
we can go back to the messages.
I'm loyal too. Once you're my people, here's the thing. When you're my person, Dylan will tell you this. Listen, and I'm pretty sure Peanut pretty much told me this too. When you are my people and I love you, I'm gonna tell you this straight up right now. I'm loyal to a fucking fault. I'm so loyal to the fact that I like some people like you're being rude. No, I love you so fucking much it makes me insane. That's how much I love motherfuckers.
Will you give me a beer when you're coming back?
Probably not. You need to stop drinking, bud.
All right, thanks for a beer.
Beer, bro.
Yes, please.
No, you know what?
Oh, just because I don't agree with you.
No, I'm coming back with more evidence.
Oh, back with more. I wish I would have brought my papers.
Yeah, big surprise. You forgot.
Well, I got excited
Why
about
don't you
it.
jam up an AR?
But no, there's no hardcore evidence. If I was on the jury, I could not. What's what? Hi.
What's up, Pat?
What's up? What's what?
This, look.
Is that your weenus?
What is that?
Did you know it's against the law to touch a little boy's wiener?
Look over here. It's 11 and a half inches. What is it?
Your foot?
It's 11 and a half minus 11.
Oh, that'll be your little friend.
How about we quit talking shit, Sturge here?
If I was on I'm not saying, this is my opinion. The dude's guilty. Is there evidence
Prove
enough to convict him?
You can't say
No.
he's guilty then.
It's my opinion. This is America, man. I can have my opinion, but I don't have enough evidence. I could convict him.
But
I would need more evidence to say, yeah, this dude, he needs to die. So I'm half with you, but I'm half not with you.
Because I think not making sense.
Personally, I think he's guilty as hell.
Hey, Pat.
But there's no evidence. There's no hardcore evidence.
You can't find somebody guilty on no fucking evidence, Peanut.
I just told you.
I changed your mind.
I couldn't convict him. Do I think he's guilty? Oh, definitely.
All right, who's listening right now that say he's not guilty? I want comments right now, so stop being fucking shy. Guilty or not?
Now, do you want guilty or you want
guilty
convicted?
or not guilty?
Do you want he's guilty or he should be convicted?
Guilty or not guilty?
In my heart or in the court of law?
I'm gonna Lacy Peterson your ass. That's not fun.
After this episode,
My bad.
guilty or not guilty?
I fucked up. That was my bad. I shouldn't say that. I would never Lacy Peterson you. But what I would do, I was fucked up. Listen, I'm a fucked up person. I didn't mean it. Fuck.
See right there. I got
That wasn't funny.
Facebook. It
Corey,
says
what are you drinking?
not guilty.
Corey, we'll
but
take a
he
shot with
did
you.
it. I agree with them. Not guilty, but he did it.
You don't know that he did it. I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. I
You know what? Just for that comment, I'm going to Jeffrey Dahmer you.
Oh, great. Eat my cock too. If you don't forget about it.
No, I'm sending
We're
that to
frying.
Jason Davis.
Fried.
We have root beer, Sean. Let's take a shot, boys. You want to take a shot?
Let's do it.
What do you want to take? What do you think, Dilly?
Because he's still guilty.
Grab the root beer shine.
No, dude.
They just got a lack of evidence.
We cut that open with a knife one night and
No, whatever's in the refrigerator.
I can't have it though. So let's just take a good shot of something. Hold on. Take a picture of what you're taking a shot of, Corey. All right, boys. What are we taking a shot of? A little rare breed? A good shot, rare breed?
Yeah.
No, I'll take whatever you want to pour.
Oh, no. You know what? You're guilty. You're an alcoholic.
Hey.
Wait.
Don't Kamalia me just because I disagree.
Come on, la 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 la.
Which one you wanted in, my boy?
Saving. Just pour some in there.
I could not convict the man, but I strongly feel
Saving
in my heart
what for
he's
you?
guilty.
Jaybird, what I say for you?
Jaybird, tell Jaybird to lick my wiener, please.
And will you lick Sturge's wiener? Oh, wait, I'm saving. We're going to smoke your cock, and send it to Jaybird.
Yeah, he can smoke my cock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's wait for take a picture of your shot before we take it. Who's in the comments? We'll expand this episode. We're having fun. It's only 7:42.
We can agree to disagree.
So,
well,
Sturge,
We'll take a picture of it. Let's see some pictures, motherfuckers.
Sturge,
Wieners.
I know
What?
we said we're going to extend this a little bit,
Oh, I know.
and I brought it up a little bit ago. How involved are you watching this Menendez stuff?
Big time.
Did you see the recent development? The DA that is going to retry that and everything. He lost the election.
She wants to know how. Corey wants to know how does she post a picture?
We can't post it in the comments here, but
Take
if
a picture and put it on our page.
just put it on American Whiskey or send it to me and I'll put it on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a picture and send it to us. Sick bastard.
But it's
Sicko.
it's crazy because the DA that said they were going to retry
Listen,
them got fired.
Do you believe that the dad molested him?
Yes.
I do too.
The singer
do
that
too.
came out and said it,
But
and
why
now
not?
it's been proven.
That is.
Didn't I tell you to watch the case and now you're fucking
Dude,
totally
how
involved?
involved was I in that? I was messaging you every episode
I
like,
know.
bro.
But how many?
What do you mean,
How
Gordon?
many
Circumstantial evidence cannot. What was the Tell me
Is there proof? Is there proof that happened?
No, there was zero proof.
So why is it everybody that commits murder
She said it.
been molested?
What? What'd you say?
That's the classic go-to for murders. Oh, he was
The dad
molested.
definitely molested him.
Did you see it?
Did you hear their stories and the fact that the person that was in the group,
Maybe
the
they're just some creepy,
dude, they told the cousin knew about it. There was what was the
they
band
told their
called?
Mom, and their mom told them to shut up.
Yeah, the mom literally said
Like she went ballistic.
because she
That's
wanted
the
to have
two
a perfect
brothers.
family.
The
Huh?
two brothers, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
they
dude,
were absolutely molested, dude.
They killed them both. The dad was really,
They admitted they
Yeah.
did.
that
That is
They're
manslaughter. That is not murder.
They should have done time for it for sure.
yeah. But their time's been served.
It has.
premeditated. I mean, they know.
Could you imagine making your child suck your dick when they're 8 years old? I know that's very insulting to hear. But if that's actually fucking true, do you blame them? That's my question.
I mean, it takes a real sick person to bash someone's head apart like that.
And it takes a real sick person to make your 8-year-old son suck your dick.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, what did Corey say? She was drinking root beer shine?
Yeah, she's gonna post the picture. She said.
I'm posting it now.
I know that sounds really disgusting what I'm saying, but I'm just being completely candid.
It is.
It is very disgusting to go in with 12 gauge shotguns and blow your fucking parents' heads off, right?
Oh, let me use that.
But what's more sick, molesting your child?
I mean,
Dude, they even had fucking sick names about it. There's no doubt the man did it. He was a part of was it Dylan? Was it like a label company, like a music label?
Yeah.
And he ended up molesting different kids on the group that they had.
And they came out early with that.
Yep. And they didn't give a fuck.
But now that they have actual evidence of it,
Megan, I argue, Megan, I argue. It explains it, but it doesn't excuse it. You're saying that you having your little son do those things doesn't. So if someone breaks in my house and I blow their fucking brains off, right?
Well, you're allowed to.
Okay. So why can't why can't a kid stick up for themselves?
He can just blow his wang off.
Yeah, but for me, nah, bro, blow their fucking brains off.
no,
Well, no, you touch my kids. You're going to have like.
They told their fucking
torture.
mother. They told their mother.
and
Their mother was too worried about having a happy family.
and she beat them afterwards.
But then again, 2 wrongs don't make it right.
So you're getting raped.
Your dad's making the 8-year-old son blow him.
I mean,
You tell your mom that's supposed to be your savior, right? And she starts beating you because of it.
I disagree, Megan. I love you very much, but I'm going to disagree with you that 2 wrongs don't make it right. I say if you make your 8-year-old son blow you and then you end up getting your fucking head shut off, I call that payback.
Did they go overboard with shooting
Jinx, bitch.
that many fucking shotgun shells? Yes. And that's why they're doing time.
And to go out and reload.
Can I be vulnerable for a second?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you're the only one that knows this. My brother, my wife, my parents. I'm going to do it. So I was 14 years old and I had a baseball coach and he would never start me on the team. And my mom just had back surgery. My dad was coaching my sister in softball. Man, I'm surprised I'm going to share this. But so I was there by myself and the game got rained out. Like I was sitting on the bench and it starts pouring rain, got super bad. And I called Dad. I was like, "Hey Dad, I need you to come get me." He's like, "I can't come get you. I'm, 45 minutes away. Have one of your friends' parents take you." And I was like, "All right." So I asked like 2 kids that lived right by us. And they're like, "No, we can't take you home." And I'm like, "Okay." So I called my mom and she's like, "I can't come. She just had major back surgery. I don't know if any of you know that. Like she couldn't move, bro. She couldn't move.
She couldn't sit in a car.
She's like, "Baby, I'll come get you." I was like, "Never mind. Don't worry about it." I was like, I was thinking myself, I told her I got a ride, which was a lie. I lied to her. And so I went to go try to walk home and the baseball coach I'm going to say his name was Larry Spicer. And he like pulls up. Like I didn't even get out to this parking lot, dude. And he's like, "Hop in, I'll take you home." And I'm like, I always had that weird feeling about it. I'm like, "Man, I'm not going to let you take me home." And so I got in the car and, I get in the car and there's 2 ball diamonds and they were separated by a long length of woods. And so he drives on the other side of these woods to where you can see the other baseball diamond. And he looks out in the field and he points and he's like, "That's a good ball team." And there's nobody on the field. And I knew right then and there. I knew something was wrong. I was like, "What?" I was like, "What are you talking about, coach?" And he's like, "You know what makes those ball players good?" Talking about players that weren't even on the field. And I was like, "No, I don't." And he's like, "They listen." And I was like, "Okay." And I had my seatbelt on. He like reaches over in the passenger seat. He unclicks the seatbelt. And he like puts his arm around my back and he's like pulling me. And I remember having my hand on my ball, like on the old baseball bags, they had like the zip top. You put your bats in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I never zipped mine. I had my hand on that bat, dude, but I couldn't move. It shook my world, dude. I was so scared. He like pulls me up, dude, and he grabs my ass and he's like, "You need to stop using this." And he touches my mouth. He's like, "Or I'm going to start, touching this." And his phone rings. Dude, in my mind, I'm thinking this is actually going to happen to me. And I can't tell you like how nervous I was at that point. But he stops it. He stops doing what he's doing. So he's like, put your seatbelt on. After he gets off the phone, he's like, put your seatbelt on. So I put my seatbelt on. I don't even remember who he was talking to. Like that part never comes back to me. So he drives past my house. And I was like, that's my house. And he's like, I know. Like he was teasing me. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, what's next? So he goes to Home Road Dairy Queen. Dude, at this point, I'm mad. And he's like, what do you want? I said, I don't want fucking anything. I said, I want you to take me the fuck home. And I'll never forget trying to unlock the door, but there was no fucking thing to unlock the door. There was no fucking pop thing right there. Like it was nothing there. And so I end up getting upset. So he gets me a large vanilla milkshake because he looked at me and he said something really disturbing. And it was something along the lines like, I'll get you a vanilla because I know that's what you like. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I was like, that's a dirty ass fucking comment to make. And he pulls in my driveway, takes me home. I didn't take a sip of this fucking milkshake, dude. I throw it in the trash, go inside. My mom just had back surgery. And so I go in there, I was like, hey, I'm home. She's like, how'd the game go? I was like, well, it got rained out or whatever. She's like, yeah, I know. But like, how'd it go? I was like, I didn't play. So I went in my room. My sister gets home. She comes in the bedroom and she could tell, man. She's like, something's wrong with you. What's wrong? And I couldn't tell her, right? I couldn't tell her. I was like, did I get molested? I don't think I did. He didn't touch my penis. But he put me in a really weird situation, put me in a really bad situation. And I'll never forget my sister's like, we need to tell mom and dad. I was like, no. The next day, freshman year, I fell asleep in my math class. And I had a dream that he was actually molesting me. And so I started talking in my sleep. So when I woke up, the teacher's like, you need to go to the guidance counselor or whatever. So I go in there. Long story short, I told my story and found out I wasn't the only one on that team to have something like that happen. He coached baseball in that league for 37 years. Do you know how many times
You're good, Sturge. You're good, bro. You're among family.
how many times I thought to myself and planned out, like I ended up having to go to counseling because I wrote stories on how I was going to go blow his brains out, dude. And I'd like to think if I did, it would have been understood.
It would have.
Let's say I would have blown that motherfucker. Here's the best of it all. Last year, my son played football. And I don't give a fuck if his family's listening or not. I really don't. I hope you fucking listen to this story and finally figure out how fucking sick your fucking uncle was. He showed up, bro, to this football game to watch his niece or whatever. No legs.
He deserved it.
No fucking legs, dude. And I remember I told my mom, I was like, that's what you get for being a fucking weirdo.
And Sturge, I'll say it this way.
I haven't.
I don't have kids, right?
No.
And you blessed me this year by not asking me to, but making me coach with you. If I ever found out a coach was doing that, I would spend the rest of my life in prison for what I would do.
What was crazy about that whole situation? I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
So the whole situation that happened, I'll never forget my dad's face at the police station because obviously we had to go to the police station and do all these things. Nothing ever happened. And I'll never forget the look in my dad's eyes. Like the look in my dad's eyes, like, what do I do? I'm glad he didn't do anything. You know what I mean? I'm glad he never did anything. But at the same time, if I would have retaliated later on in life,
it'd been
even if I should have went to prison, right? I should go to prison. But so should he have.
Yep.
So my point is, when those boys told their stories, Like, first off, the older Mendez brother was molested as well. You know, they
Yep.
even had the dad groomed them. The dad made them suck him off and had actual sex with him, you know. And you know something? I'm sorry to say that, you know, two wrongs don't make a right, but guess what? In my eyes, you rape a fucking child and they end up blowing your fucking heads out later on in life. Guess what? You know what? You know, your wrong doesn't even equivalent to them blowing your fucking heads off. Hopefully, you spend your fucking eternal life in hell, just like Larry Spicer. I hope Larry Spicer spending his fucking. Some people are like, well, you got to forgive. No, I don't. He can spend the rest of his life in prison.
And for the people that say, well,
And I'm sorry to anybody that just listened to that story. I haven't told that story in ever. I think, did I ever tell you that?
Yeah, we've said it on here before, but it's been a while.
Like, you know, it's a, that, but again, I don't know. I mean, Peanut, I haven't heard Peanut talk at all. He's over there like holding something. He's like, is that motherfucker still alive?
But
I'll go kill him.
For the people,
he's dead now. He's
for
dead,
the
by the
people
way.
that are saying that the Menendez brothers
They did take their power back.
went out and reloaded and went back in, you don't know the.
That's
trauma
because
they
the
went
mother
through.
was still alive. They said the mom was still alive and they wanted to put her out of her miseries.
And even then, you don't know the trauma it is to be molested, to be taken advantage of like that. Maybe in their minds, when they did it, they were like, we don't know if they're gone. We need to make sure.
Yeah. And here's the wild thing. There's a lot of people out there that have a story that no one even fucking knows.
Because people are scared.
People are scared. Peanut, you're quiet over there, bro. What's up?
Oh, your story just fucked from head. I'm sorry. Let's have a shot, brother.
All right, man. Love you, buddy.
Love you.
And I do not have a story of being molested, but
God.
I do have a story. So I lived right across the street from my elementary school, and we would go there every fucking day. Didn't matter Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Play baseball, play basketball, play foursquare. Like, there was a bunch of kids in the neighborhood. There was one day I remember very vaguely where it could have very easily happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was me, my brother, and my two neighbors. We were over there just playing foursquare, literally 200 yards from my house. A van pulls up. Classic story. Hey, you guys want some candy? Being young, naive, me and my neighbor were like, we want some candy. My brother and my older neighbor, Lee, were like, hey, guys, let's go. And they started getting out of the vehicle. And the way this parking lot kind of was the main level, there was 2 4-square courts, and then there was a drop off, like a little brick wall to more playground area, and then you could go around the school. We jumped over that, and they kind of looked, and they're like, no, let's fucking go. And I'll never think, honestly, rest in peace for my brother, my older brother, and Lee, that knew something was up. Because what would have happened to us?
I know.
You never know.
And you know what's crazy, dude? You tell that story and you say nothing happened to me, but something did that day. I mean, deep down in your innocence, you know, right? You know something's wrong. That's why you're jumping fences and taking off.
Corey, that's not a joke. That's what happens to kids.
You know, and so when I first started doing true crime podcasts, I wanted to start something, Dylan. I don't think I've ever shared this with you or Peanut. I wanted to start a podcast called My Story. And what it would be about was me sharing my whole story and then having other people share theirs.
I was about to say, let other
because
people
listen,
step up.
You know, I can tell you right now, I was born in Lancaster, Ohio. I've grown up in Springfield, Ohio. I've had a great life. My mom and dad that adopted me believed in Jesus Christ and shared his love with me. And to this day, I still believe in him. I believe that he died on the cross, and I believe he's the Son of God. But prior to that, when we lived in Lancaster, you know, people that I love dearly were raped and molested and beat, and you know, until I was 8, 9 years old before we left there. There's a whole story in between that, right?
Right.
And I'll never forget something that my dad told me one time. He sits me down, and it was like in the adoption process. I didn't want to tell him anything because I didn't think he'd understand. And so I told him that as a little kid. I'm like, you know, somehow or another, I explained to him that I didn't want to tell him what happened to him. And he's like, you don't ever have to tell me anything. But what I want you to know is everyone has a story, and you're not alone. You don't have to tell anyone your story, but just know everyone has one. And so then, in a little brain of mine, I started like talking to myself, and I'm like, okay, so all these things that happened before I was adopted, whether it be the homelessness, the child beatings, the mom's boyfriend was a sicko, I realized that I wasn't the only one. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I 100% understand what you're saying. There are.
You never told me that story.
No.
You never really heard the story about my coach, but
no, I've heard it, but it didn't dawn on me until tonight. Like something like that could have happened to me.
And it happens to a lot of kids. And it's like, and when I was looking at starting that podcast called My Story, that's all I wanted to be about. I didn't want to have to, I just wanted to get on a podcast and talk to people about their stories because I know everyone has one. Everyone has one. It may not be, you know, getting molested. It could be being robbed. It could be, right. You know, I know a good friend of mine from college, rest in peace. He can't share that story, but his family could. He got robbed and he was murdered. Like everyone has a fucking story. Everyone has an ending. Everyone has a beginning, but there's always a healing process.
There is,
you know, and it's a process that sometimes is hard to begin. So it's like, if you had a really bad childhood growing up, there's still a beginning for you. Somehow or another, you have to find the beginning to start. So like to start a new chapter of your life, like a new season in your life, like there's always a way to start new. And the way to do that is to share that story. And my sister and I were both adopted together, and we both have a story. Like I said it before, my sister and I should be in prison right now, you know, from our life. Like we had a really bad life at the start, but somebody loved on us and we started our journey, right? So our past doesn't make us. It's the way that you take it and begin your life. So, you know, Dylan, you said, what's the clicking noise?
My bad.
What is that? I can tell he's antsy, dude. He's I'm sorry. This is American whiskey, baby. Like we're, you know, Peanut.
We get vulnerable sometimes.
I just don't like that.
But
I know, buddy.
Shay,
but it happens every day,
right,
man.
Real quick, Shay, to hit on your comment. It's different times. I mean, I get your training your kids, which is well done, to never trust anyone unless their parents say it's okay. When we grew up back then,
thanks, Corey.
It's weird to say back then because we're still young, but back then, the way we were raised was if an adult authority says something, you do it.
You know what was interesting? No, you're right for sure.
Like that's the way we were raised because that shit didn't happen.
But here's the big thing, like to think about before I was adopted, you know. Let's go 9 years old, right? My 19 years old, and my dad that adopted me is like, you know, I know all these things had happened to you, that have happened to you. Bless the Lord for giving me this dad and mom. But he said, what are some things that make you smile thinking about your past? And I always was like, how the fuck did you say it? As a little kid, I didn't think, how the fuck did you think that? But I was like, dude, I didn't have a good fucking childhood. Like, it was fucking terrible. But, you know, I look back now and I'm like, dude, there was nothing like riding on some pegs of a mongoose, riding through fucking town with the fucking neighborhood boys, doing our fucking thing. and not giving a fucking shit less what happened when we got home, right? Like, because you soaked up all the fucking amazing things that were happening to you in life. But it didn't matter when the sun went down and the moon rose and it was cloudy and scary. It didn't matter what happened that night. All that mattered was you woke up the next day, you got on those pegs of the mongoose, and you fucking rolled out to the mall and raised fucking hell and got kicked out by the security guards because you were trying to steal change out the fucking thing. Remember back in the day, you'd flip the quarters into the fountain?
Yeah.
I was motherfucking getting, everyone's like, you're the youngest, hop in there and grab the quarters. So I'd go in there and try to grab the quarters, but I know it sounds like, oh man, it's so sad you have no money. No, dude, it was a great fucking time, dude. You're
with your boys.
We ended up lifting a fucking snorkel from a Kmart so I could go underwater and get the quarters and still breathe. It was a great fucking time, dude. Like, but you go back and you listen to that story and you think to yourself,
I got food, but I'm on my way back.
I love you, buddy. I know this got weird. I know it is what it is. I shared a story that I don't share often.
But no, Sturge, it's like you're hitting on right now. When we were kids, you could literally jump on a bike, go anywhere in fucking town, and people would just say kids are being kids.
Yeah, dude. I stole Slim Jim. So, like there was a semi truck one time in Lancaster that was backing up to his. You guys ever heard of a rich station? Rich stations?
What's that?
You're younger than me.
On,
so
what's that?
It's a gas station. It was called the Rich Station. It was RICH, and it had like a white sign with some different colors. And they get their trucks on a certain day. But this dude would leave the truck unattended for so long. And so we made this plan one day. I'm like 9 years old. Me and my cousins were like,
I can steal that shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. Every day, every time he'd deliver, you'd see the Slim Jim rack right in the back of this truck.
That's every time I see a beer truck at a gas station.
So I'm too small to get up in the back of this truck, but between me and my cousins, we can lift me up there and I can grab. I mean, I'm a big boy now, but back then I was skinny as hell. So they jolt me up to the top and I grab all these Slim Jims while the driver comes out. And they take off. My cousins take off. And I'm like, I can't jump down. It's way too far, right? Out of the back of this truck. And he's like, what?
Jumped anyways.
Dude, they call the fucking cops. So the cop rolls up. And then my Jeremiah, my little cousin, comes running through the woods. He's like, you're not taking my cousin to jail or whatever. And then he's like, no, I'm not. He's like, but why are you stealing Slim Jims? I'll never forget. Jeremiah looked at me. He's like, because we're hungry. And he's like, all right. So he puts us in the back of his squad car. And this is in Lancaster, Ohio. I don't know if anybody's in Lancaster or not that listens to this, but there was a Pizza Hut there and had upstairs. What Pizza Hut has an upstairs, right? So he takes us there to have a lunch buffet, but the lunch buffet was only upstairs. So we think we're going to jail.
You're going up steps. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. We're at this Pizza Hut. We walk up these stairs and all we can smell is the pizza. And this cop buys us a buffet. And I'm actually writing a book. I always say that I'm writing it for like 10 years now. But in this book, I explained like the walk up the stairs was like going to prison. And then I walked in and smelled the dough. And I was like, what is this place? He's like, dude, this is a buffet. Like you can get as much as fucking pizza as you want. And we ate like fucking kings, dude. I'll tell you something. I never had cottage cheese until the buffet. Like once I had cottage cheese there, I always wanted it, right? Food Pantry didn't give cottage cheese. They gave grits and they gave government cheese and Spam. Like, so, and that was where I first learned my love for, how much, Vienna sausages in the fucking pop top. Like you popped it like you would a beer can. But this cop took me to this Pizza Hut and let us fucking just smash some fucking food. And dude, it was such a, like, when my dad who adopted us was like, think about the good times. I know that sounds like a shitty story, but it wasn't. It was such a good story.
It showed there's good people out there.
Good cops. I mean, good people in general,
I mean, think about Springfield. Like, they get a bad rap.
They do.
But how many cops are bad?
I mean, how many bad people are there? I mean,
like,
Shay, he was, buddy.
Stuff.
Shay, I'll tell you right now, in the book that I'm writing, there's a whole chapter on this guy. Like, he takes us, and I told him to drop us off, like, down from our house. And he's like, no, let me take you to your house. Well, we didn't really have a house. There was like an abandoned trailer complex where people lived, even though it was abandoned. So he drops us off, but he didn't leave, and we didn't know it. And he kind of like followed us to where we were. And him and the department, or a couple guys, that Christmas brought us Christmas presents. Like me and my whole family, dude. Like, you know, you're right, Corey. 9 out of 10 people I stay away from, but you know what I'm saying?
There's always that one angel.
Dude, I'll tell you something. There's a lot of good people out there, and everyone has a story. And you said you didn't have the story, Corey. Everyone has a story, whether it be good or bad. Some people have bad stories. Some people have good stories. You know.
Right. I believe, cops.
She didn't say she didn't have a story. She said she doesn't share it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was trying to and Jason,
That's
he did
okay.
change my life, but here's the biggest thing about all of that situation. I realized at that point in time what it meant to feel love, and when you feel love, you want to give love, right? So thanks to that cop, I understood that. So because when you're younger and you go through bad situations, when you feel like a teacher love on you, it feels incorrect. It doesn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel right. But when there's a gesture that's really, really good and you accept it, then you realize what it feels to take love and what it means to give out. If you're never loved on, it's hard to really love on people.
Well, the one thing I know about, I got several friends that are cops. I got a brother that's prison guard over here. This is the society, and that's what turns them, really. I mean, think about it. When you're stuck all day with criminals that have more rights than you do, and they're putting all these cameras up, not for your protection, but for the criminals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard not to come out with a bad attitude.
That's a fact, man.
But the one thing I do like, if they didn't put all these pedos in segregation, them criminals take care of them. It matters.
They don't put them all in segregation. That's actually not true.
So let me hit on that.
Dylan's a prison guard.
Let me hit on that.
Dylan's a prison guard.
So you're kind of right. The reason why my job is easy, I make the easiest money you could fucking make. But there's a caveat to that. My life could also be at risk any second of the day.
Yeah.
But
I do have a question about your job.
Well, let me finish real quick.
Sorry.
You have to realize, in the line of profession I'm in, their punishment is being inside those walls. They don't see their family every day. They don't get the freedom to come home, have a beer every day. As weird and funny as it is, they don't have the right to come home and have sex every day.
Right.
Hi, Maya.
Are you in a horny mood right now or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Their punishment is being behind those walls. Being a correction officer, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, warden, whatever the fuck it is, and correction system, it is to make sure they adhere to the rules inside.
Yeah.
It's not to punish them.
Right.
Their punishment
But are
is serving the
pedophiles,
time.
I guess the question is, are pedophiles segregated?
No.
I didn't think so either. I know a bunch of you guys. So here's another question I have for you. How many dudes in there that are locked up that made mistakes that are probably genuine good people?
A lot. Dude, I see it every day. And it's weird to say. Technically, I'm not a judge. But as a sergeant, my job is to hear conduct reports.
Yeah. That the inmate's place, right?
Yeah. So no, not the inmate's place. Say your officer in the dorm. Inmates caught with hooch.
Mm-hmm.
They write a conduct report. I hear that ticket. Technically, to the Ohio Revised Code, I am some court or some kind of judge. Because I either determine if they're innocent or guilty. And I will say this.
You're the hottest judge I know.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, bro.
I will say this, and
Hi, Maya.
from my mentality, I do my due diligence every fucking case.
You do.
I'll watch cameras. I'll listen to them. I don't just see. Oh,
So you might be like, you know what? The prisoner's right.
oh, all the time. I withdraw tickets all the time, every day, every single day.
Yeah,
It's the red. She said it's the red hair.
Everybody needs to drink every now and then.
It's the red hair because you're hot, dude.
I don't have red hair.
No, you do. Look at Peanut and say, bro, your hair's red.
Yeah.
You have red hair. I know you always say you don't have red hair. Even your eyebrows are red.
Oh yeah.
What do you call it?
You're a ginger, just like my boys.
You'd fuck me.
Oh yeah, we would.
Would I fuck you if I wasn't married?
Wait,
Yeah.
Corey, are you saying I'm hot?
Yeah, you're definitely hot, dude. Everyone knows you're hot. You're hot and I'm fat, so whatever.
Well, that also might be because the lights and everything.
No, I think it's because
but
your
what-
beard's red.
but-
I've told you you've had red hair.
But what I'm saying is,
What was that?
but what I'm
Nice.
saying is, like we were talking about the case tonight.
He's still hot. I'm married.
Yeah, you can still say it.
Yeah.
Um,
Just because you ordered don't mean you can't look at the menu.
But what I'm saying is,
what
you
an
have to
idiot.
take everything case by case basis, and you have to look at brutal facts. If I look at cameras and an officer said, "Oh, he cussed me out," blah blah blah, and I don't even see a conversation, I'm throwing it out.
Yeah.
This is not the United States on this podcast. You can't pull the fifth.
Who's the hottest out of us? I'm voting Peanut.
Yeah, Corey, if you had to pick out of
Peanut.
us three, who would you pick?
The Peanut. Let's do a thing. Peanut's the hottest.
I used to be.
I think you're a good looking guy.
I mean, I feel like Sturge dresses well.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fat guy though.
He has a good beard.
Nobody
Yeah,
likes
Fat guys,
fat
you
guys.
loving too.
But you
Nobody
get the
loves.
best
Other than my
hugs.
wife, my beautiful wife, nobody loves.
Oh,
get
Corey
the
said
best hugs.
peanut.
Told you.
You know what, Corey?
Who
I didn't like you
who
anyway.
sings? Who sings the best?
They like them old.
I didn't like you anyways. Corey.
Who sings the best?
Definitely.
Who writes the best music?
Oh, we got a chubby chaser though.
Ooh,
Oh,
Sturge,
shit.
you're in.
You're saying there's a chance. Hopefully the wife's not watching. Oh,
Right.
sorry, honey.
Sturge still gives the best hugs, so
I do give good
He's a
hugs.
big-
I'm just a big
Hey
fella.
guys, we
Big
got our
teddy bear.
mascot here.
they're my
Hi, Maya. Yeah,
Sturgeon's the best singer.
we got our mascot on camera. What did you just eat? You just burped.
Corey, where are you out of, by the way? This is the first time we saw you on here, so I'm curious where you're out of. What state are you from? 11.
I don't know how everybody could see names. I still got Facebook users.
Well, I'm on Facebook.
When are we
as
supposed
well.
to be at Second Street Market? Did we figure that out?
I thought you had the date.
I did not. Remember, I told you to follow up with him on the date. I told you that.
I thought you said you had the date.
No, I know. I said I had that date. I need you to check on the date. We might be going there tomorrow. I don't know.
Well, ain't like the last one's the 16th.
I don't know.
So Corey, I'm gonna visit New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. That's way up north there on the coast, right?
Sturge, get me a beer. Thank you.
Massachusetts.
But moved over the border. I like the ocean. Maya,
I gotta get on Facebook. I don't know who's talking and who.
yeah, you got to get on Facebook to see who's talking because for some reason StreamYard tonight's being weird. 3 towns, that's not too bad. Chris, do you guys have any more of the spiced apple? I've been out.
I know. I need to get a couple spiced apples.
I have been out. Yeah, Jason, I think that's what he's saying. Unless he's saying they're going to be here tomorrow, because I heard a little rumor they might be here tomorrow.
If that's the case, I'm ordering
Thank you, sir.
Ordering what?
some wine.
What'd they say?
I don't know. I don't know who's talking. I gotta get on this Facebook. Oh, thank you, sir.
Or if it's about wine, it's Chris.
What'd he say? What'd Chris say?
I think he said they're going to be at the market tomorrow.
I'm so confused now.
Because we were talking about it. He said we'll be there tomorrow and Sunday. But I thought they were coming here tomorrow. So I'm confused.
We're confused. Let me see if Fred wants to get on.
Yeah, we need Fred. Chris, you want to jump on? Fred, Chris, Fred. Annie Salmons.
Our brothers from another mother.
Mama Sam's.
Mama Salmon.
Get it, Sturge. Oh. Englewood
I don't know
Market
why.
is on the 16th.
All right, good. I need to. I always feel
If
like.
the calendar was here, we could mark it down.
Why do I always drink and want to play my guitar and sing? Show people. My
You should
music.
play Ohio Moonshine.
Or cheap whiskey.
Play one of them. Or both.
I think cheap whiskey is the one, right?
Play cheap whiskey.
Isn't it the one?
It is. I love
I
cheap
wonder
whiskey.
what. All I care about. What's Jen think?
Does anyone want to hear Sturge sing cheap whiskey?
Does anyone actually want to hear me play? Because if not, I'm not going to do it.
I do.
Does anybody want to actually hear me do it? I don't want to do it if nobody wants to hear me do it.
If someone says they want to hear it,
Anybody want to hear it? If not, I won't do it. What? Who said that? Music and liquor goes together.
Corey, go ahead. She said it goes together. She said, do it, play. Corey, first, before he sings, have you ever heard his songs? Have you ever
What'd she
heard
say?
Big Sturge sing? She said, do it, play. But I want to hear if she's ever heard you first.
All right. Oh,
Jennifer
no.
said, do it. Your boot. She said, no, play cheap whiskey.
All right. Can you guys hear my guitar?
Cheers, Big Sturge.
Hold on. Let me adjust some shit here. Hold on.
You were sounding good.
I know. You know how I am with sound.
Chris said, send it. So I think Chris is joining us.
All right. I like that. Chris is our boy.
They're our brothers. Not our boys. They're our brothers.
How's this? What'd they say?
They can hear it. Everyone sing with them.
One glass, one bottle of cheap whiskey. One room, no lights. It's dark enough for me to hide. I drank this pain all away. Maybe she won't find what's deep inside. One glass, bottle of cheap whiskey, one room with no lights, dark enough for me to hide. And I drank this pain away. Maybe she won't find what's deep inside. I me, myself, and I, empty bottles on the shelf, demons on my side. I don't need no help, no, 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 no. I don't need no help, no, no. I've always ran to never be caught, but you always stood. You gaze in my eyes, asking what it is deep inside. But baby, I don't know what it is. But baby, please don't go. Stay real close with me tonight. I don't trust myself. I really need you and me. One glass, one bottle of cheap whiskey. One room, no lights. It's dark enough for me to hide. Drink this pain all away. Maybe she won't find what's deep inside. One glass, one bottle of cheap whiskey, one room with no lights, dark enough for me to hide. I drank this pain away. Maybe she won't find what's deep inside. Me, myself, and I. Empty bottles on the shelf, demons on my side, and I don't need no help, no. I'll turn these bottles down, I'll turn on the lights, baby, just stay here. There it is. She pussy motherfuckers.
Chris, Fred, welcome in.
They
Chris,
in? They're in? The
you
boys
need
are in?
to unmute yourself, Chris.
I was waiting on the song. My dog was getting situated.
You're saying the boys are here. Are you
The
saying the
boys
boys are
are
here? Are you
here.
saying the boys are here? I need to know. Are the boys here? Are the boys here?
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Is my boy Fred in?
He's here.
I guess.
Hey, listen.
I don't know what this blue screen background he's got. Oh,
Please forgive me for the songwriting. Well, did we get anybody that liked it? Anybody
Corey
like
loves it.
She thought it was fire. What's up?
Yeah,
She did?
dude, she's only put fire emoji.
What about did Jen hear it? My wife hear it?
Oh yeah. Jen heard it.
All right, the question is, Fred, Chris, are you guys coming here tomorrow?
Supposed to. After we
What's
get
happening?
Does that mean you
after
are?
we get done with
Oh.
Thanksgiving.
Well, that's fine. What time's Thanksgiving?
I got to go down to the 2nd Street Market and sell some wine. So that's at 3. So it'll probably be 6 or 7, 8.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, we'll be here drinking.
That's perfect.
Okay,
That is perfect.
I'll be there. Keeps sending the fire emoji?
Sturge, you got people confused.
What?
Corey just said, Jen the Queen, your hubby is fire.
Shut that door for me, please.
I'm Big Sturge. That's Peanut, but maybe she's talking about Peanut.
No, she's talking about your
Oh, yeah.
music.
She's talking about you.
My music? Oh, I'm Big Sturge. Peanut's the bold guy.
Peanut is married to Jen. Sturge is just saying that's his wife.
Oh, yeah, I was just joking around. My wife is Stephanie. She hops on here from now and then.
My wife is Ty, and she's upstairs.
She fired too.
Yeah, but I got something to tell you two boys.
What?
Oh, by the way, thanks, man.
I got Ty and Avies on Facebook now. We're friends.
Who?
Oh, shoot. Watch out now.
Yeah, my life's over.
At least they
No, I'm just
let
kidding.
you be their friend.
I know. I'm shocked.
What happened?
At least they let you be the friend.
Yeah.
What now?
Fred, hook yourself up to the Wi-Fi.
Huh?
Oh God, here we go. We gotta get Fred on fucking Wi-Fi. That was 3 days.
I'm on the Wi-Fi, ain't I?
No, you're not in the Wi-Fi.
You need a Wi-Fi.
I'm never forget. Fred's like, "What do you mean the Wi-Fi? What's that mean?"
Hey,
Oh,
Like,
Chris,
dear God.
maybe you can help Fred here. If you became the defensive coordinator of his team, they might do better.
That's true.
Oh, did he lose?
Yeah,
Fred, how many games have you lost?
4.
has he?
Yeah. I have Jackson State at rank number 14 in the nation.
I think I've only lost 1.
I haven't lost yet.
That's because he doesn't. It's because Chris is the offensive coordinator.
I don't play video games.
Well, Chris, you're my offensive coordinator.
Oh, that
We're
makes you
undefeated.
better. That makes you better than us. I take it.
We don't
Chris.
play. He doesn't play video games because there was this one time in Canton. We're not allowed.
No, that was not at camp. We were on vacation.
I said Canton.
Oh, he cheated.
What happened?
First off, Fred, don't talk about my offensive coordinator like that.
Yeah, don't do it.
This is the first time I've released it, but Chris is my offensive coordinator, and Jacksonville State is undefeated, ranked number 14 in the nation right now.
Yeah, because you restart every game.
No.
Okay.
Go back and look.
I did it yesterday. If you want
Dude,
to be
I
honest.
restart every game, bro.
I did it.
I
yesterday.
restart
I think
every
I was
game 4 or 5 times.
21 and- I think I restarted it 21 times and I've only won 6.
I knew it. Dude, they score a touchdown, I'm restarting it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
You're trying to get down to you're trying to be like, if they're scoring on me, I'm trying to get 0 yards for the
Listen.
season.
That's right.
Jacksonville State's true this year. We're going to get dominated when we go to the playoffs, but we're going to make the playoffs.
What do we let's sit? Can I make a shout? Who is ringing a fucking bell?
All right, hold
That's
on.
my
I'll show you.
child. You better be calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
It's
I
my
didn't
buddy.
know that. I mean, first off, I didn't know that. So
I'm just kidding.
He's somewhere
let's
over
be
there.
honest here. Are you bringing the kids tomorrow? Because my kids are out of town now. Come on.
Of course they are.
Well, my kids won't be here now.
I think that the kids got to go back to. I think they have play practice tomorrow or Sunday morning or something.
I'm a big kid, so
Are they bringing the
How
bell?
are you, Peanut?
No,
Are they bringing the bell?
going to
I'm
If they bring the bell, keep them at home. Whatever.
I don't.
They
play
were.
because they got too many damn buttons now.
I don't want to get insulted that I'm fat. Okay, Chris, leave your kids at home.
I mean, I can get him on here, but they were just ringing the bell to your music.
Nah, I was off. When I sang that song, I was a little off. I felt like I
No,
wasn't.
you're
I wasn't. Was I? Was I
Yeah,
on?
you're
You
on.
really feel like I was?
So is the lag in Fred's phone? They thought you were still playing.
yeah, my Wi-Fi is
There's
working.
no way Fred is on the same Wi-Fi as you right now.
He's literally on the other side of the door.
Can you go look at his phone?
Yeah, I could do it.
Yeah, let's do it, Chris. You're my
Okay.
boy.
I'm outside now.
He does. Oh, he does have an Apple.
That's crap.
That's
That's
has
a
nothing to
bullshit
do with it.
excuse.
It's the Wi-Fi.
Surge is
Get him
using
on the
Apple.
Wi-Fi. Get him the Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's true. I am on an Apple.
Chris won't let Fred have his Wi-Fi account.
Get him the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
He charges him.
Are people still watching?
Yes, Corey said you were off of points, but you could tell you were warming up. So stand by your
Who
fire.
is that guy?
I hurt my feelings a little.
You mean girl?
I hurt my feelings a little.
She's ready for a band camp story. She thought a band camp.
No, she
It
pretty
just
much said
says
my music
Facebook
shit.
user on mine.
It's fine.
That's Corey. She's been fired tonight.
No, it's fine. My
It's the
music.
first time
Corey
was
pretty
fired
much just
tonight.
told me my music shit, so it's fine.
Your
No,
music
she-
made it on my internet today.
Entire time.
Fred, was my shit off?
Oh, he is outside.
Fred, was
I
my
just
music?
appeared. My bad.
Now I don't. I'm gonna sell my guitars. I'm gonna sell the
Did you guys
guitars.
see- did you guys see my brother?
No, he's behind a brick wall.
Because I like to
You're
cry.
outside. He's at a brick wall.
You know what? I'm gonna Lacy Peterson Dylan.
And I'm going to Jeffrey Dahmer you.
As long as you eat my penis.
I'll claim you're both innocent.
So
sorry,
So,
Corey. We
listen.
are a very inappropriate podcast. If that,
So
that
who
doesn't
would
bother you.
win, Scott Peterson or Jeffrey Dahmer?
Oh, Jeffy, all day.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
beat you.
Because Jeffrey Dahmer killed people, and
Hey Sturge, I like your
Scott
beard.
didn't.
Do you want to go to the other room?
my beard.
Yeah, you want to go to the other room with me?
Hey, what did you guys? Did you and Fred? You and Chris listen to the case?
not all of it. We were watching a unicorn Christmas movie with kids.
So you're saying you didn't listen to our true crime?
I'll listen to it. Man, I'm sorry, man. I got family to take.
I thought we were
This is the
family.
way it's going to be, man.
Never mind.
I got the beginning.
Well, you didn't call me until you
So
didn't call
do you
me and
think-
tell me you were going to be on.
Didn't you
Where
the
we put it on
post?
Facebook, Bub.
Didn't
I
you
had a
like-
busy
hold
day.
on.
I came
Hold
home
on.
and started recording.
Didn't you like the post?
No, let me tell you guys.
I shared it.
I had to try to cheap. Listen, so I had a rotten dowel. I put a new toilet in. The toilet flange was rotten. So I went to go put a repair flange on that took like 9 hours to put on. And then when I put the toilet back on, the motherfucking repair flange broke off. So then I ended up having to go back, cut the fucking old flange out, put a new flange on, and then end up cussing out the person that was pissing all over the fucking floor that rotted out the fucking flange. And then they told me that I was a homophobe. That's what I was
the way
called.
you say flange.
They said, you're a homophobe. And I was like, excuse me?
Because they
I
pee on
just
the
asked you to stop pissing on the floor.
I like the way you say
That's
flange.
disgusting.
Dude, it was so bad. So, anyways, I went on a rampage. I finally let out of my system. Do you think Lacy was murdered by her husband?
From what I've
The
seen,
Lacy
yes.
Peterson and Scott Peterson.
Oh, thank you.
What have you seen?
This was on TV.
Of course.
I seen that he's in
trial by
jail,
media.
ain't he?
Again, trial by media. The dude was found guilty because of what you saw on TV.
He's found guilty because he's a douche.
There was
He
no-
found guilty by his peers?
Yes, and then later, 4 years later, they found out the one woman said that he was guilty before she even started on the actual juror.
Hung jury.
That's
How'd
not
they
right.
find that out?
Well, he's entitled to a retrial.
And she's an idiot, and she told people.
So, hey,
Oh, well, yeah, that-
Corey just brought something up. Do you know anything about Karen Reed?
Actually, I do.
She's
No.
Maybe we should dive into that next.
Oh, yeah. How much does she know about
Are
it,
you-
though?
Here's the better question:
Who brought it up?
who complains about their dry turkey on Thanksgiving?
I do.
I do too. Every time.
I
I'm
only
like,
eat the dark meat.
well, I'm like, give me the fucking gravy. And they're like, we don't got gravy. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, I got jar gravy. I'm like, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to
That's
cut
what
it.
I'm
I need.
making for tomorrow.
What are you making tomorrow? I was curious. We're family or whatever. And what's interesting is I wasn't invited to Thanksgiving.
What the fuck?
You know you're
Oh,
welcome.
I can show you.
That's
I
interesting.
can show you the text messages, bud.
Well,
Inviting me to Thanksgiving? Send them
Yeah.
over. I want to see them. Go ahead and send them over.
I gotta find.
Yeah, go ahead and find the texts that aren't there. You'll be there for a while.
No, I
That
got
way
them
you
right here.
Jack off.
they're still
Hold
trying
on.
to send.
I mean, you're more than welcome to come.
Oh, you get one, you get us all.
Hey,
We wouldn't do that.
my
to you.
family loves you guys.
I love them. How'd your mom like that hoodie?
I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a while.
Interesting.
Fred's in town, so she doesn't talk to me when Fred's in town. I'm
No,
sorry.
Fred, you just now sent me the text. Want to eat turkey tomorrow? You didn't prove anything but send me a fucking.
That's a screenshot, isn't it?
No, it's not a screenshot. He just sent it to me.
So in
This
other words,
bastard, dude.
they're bringing us turkey tomorrow.
Do you guys bring some turkey over?
I can bring some turkey over.
I'm making mac and cheese.
I can't have that.
I like mac and cheese.
Why don't you just laugh at the guy on keto? That's funny.
That's what I was gonna ask you. What are you gonna eat?
I think my first. Okay, so I haven't cheated on my diet in over 3 months. I think Thanksgiving will be the first day that I do.
I don't
Don't
think
do
you
it.
should.
Do you want to know what for though?
I don't think
Pumpkin
you should.
pie, probably.
Dude, I love pumpkin pie. Everyone knows I love the pumpkin pie, but what do I love more than that is a little stuffing, baby. I gotta have the gravy and the stuffing and the mashed potatoes.
Oh, my mom.
So
Hey, here's what I'm scared of. I'm scared. I'm down. Probably. I think I'm down 90 pounds or more. I haven't got back on the scale because I've decided I'm not going to get back on the scale. I'm going to restart my podcast called He's Fit and I'm Fat. I'm not going to step on a scale until I'm comfortable with my weight. Everyone thinks that's crazy. So when I go to the doctor, I don't want to know my weight, which I don't have to. I don't want to know my weight until I look in the mirror and I'm comfortable with it. So right now, I'd say I was down 80 pounds the last time I checked. But what I'm scared to do is cheat on Thanksgiving and fuck it all up. I'm scared that
that's what's going to happen.
I know. So part of me is like, you know what? I'll eat the turkey and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do anything else until I'm good where I'm at. Because I'm afraid. I've been there before. I've lost 100 pounds before and I've relapsed, dude.
So don't do it.
It's not worth it.
I wouldn't do it.
I've had good stuffing that's worth it, my boys.
I'm
I've had
hungry, guys.
good stuffing.
You guys are all talking food.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's be honest.
Davis is talking about his smoked mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's overrated. His smoked mac and cheese is overrated.
But he's going to smoke turkey breast.
No, smoked turkey breast ain't the best. What's the best is a deep fried turkey.
Oh, I like breast though. Anyway,
But let's talk about this. So you guys vote. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to cheat and get the pumpkin pie, the mashed potatoes, and the gravy and all that shit, and not come back. So, do I cheat on Thanksgiving or no?
No.
If I was going to say cheat, I would do Christmas.
Well, all right, Fred, what do you think, my boy?
I'm back.
I'm going to say, I would say that if you had like an exercise regime, it would be okay, but we don't exercise like we should. So I think if you do it, you're going to gain not all of it back, but some of it, and then it's going to take you twice as long.
He just want to knock himself out of ketosis.
You know, you cheat like.
I know I'm going to knock myself out of Thanksgiving. I'll knock myself out of ketosis. I'm not worried about that.
But then you can start right back into it.
But that's the problem. I've also lost over 100 pounds before working out with my brother, and then I cheated on vacation and never went back to the diet. Does that make sense? So, like, you get
that's the worst part.
It is.
You know, if you eat enough turkey, you'll just fall asleep anyways because it's got that chemical in it.
No, actually, I can have turkey, bub.
I know, but if you eat enough of it, you'll fall asleep and you'll forget all about all the other stuff.
Yeah, you'll be asleep by halftime of the.
Are you saying?
Corey, first you hit
Turkey
him, and
makes you
you're
tired.
asking for bringing you smoked turkey. I'm getting confused,
Dylan, tell him about the smoked turkey I made last year.
bro.
Tell him about the smoked turkey I made last year, my boy.
I ate it for like 3 days at work.
He did.
You know,
He sent me pictures, dude.
I got a fifth much
Sturge.
I just
Sturge.
cook it on charcoal. What's up, my boy?
I think you got a very good group of people that root for you every day. I wouldn't do it.
I'm not going to do it. You know what?
You're not cheating.
I'm not going to do it. If I did do it, it would only be for one item, and it would be for the stuffing.
But is it worth
What-
it?
No,
What
it's
kind of
not
stuff?
worth it.
Stop.
Because, like, you know what's really crazy? I can eat food that supposedly is good for like keto. I'm more carnivore than keto. But like, if I eat something that's like just not good for me, I actually I feel like dog shit. So what I'm scared of is feeling like dog shit. Like, I don't want to eat something and feel like shit.
Well, you eat a bunch of turkey and I'll stuff you, big guy.
I'll give you a turkey to eat.
Oh yeah.
Have your kids or somebody eat the stuffing for you. Be like, take a bite for me.
That's fucked
And
up.
have them describe how.
Yeah,
How
tell them how
about
it
the
tastes.
oysters? How about the oysters in it?
Oh, I like boys.
First off,
Ain't that an
hold on.
aphrodisiac?
Jason
Who
Davis.
puts oysters in their stuffing?
Hold
Oh,
on.
I've had
that's
plenty of
hold
oysters
on.
and stuff. What are you fucking talking about?
Jason Davis said overrated smoked mac and cheese. I'll remember that.
Okay, I can't eat it anyways. I'm fine with you forgetting about it.
How many times he said he's going to make it? We didn't get any.
A lot.
Oh, I got some down there
I was told that I was going to get a
Who's not muted?
keto one. I never got it. Whose phone's loud right
How do you
now?
get a keto mac and cheese?
It doesn't work.
Just cheese? I'm
I don't know. You're
over
supposed to,
seafood.
you're supposed to use like cauliflower or something. I don't know.
Well, it's called vegetables with cheese on it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
What?
Is what I would call it. Yeah. Are you guys ready to feel like shit tomorrow?
Who?
Who, me?
The boys. I got drunk the last time.
I wasn't even.
I don't drink.
Oh,
They're
I
fucked.
don't drink and there'll be none of that going on.
Chris was pretty good, but Fred was like
No,
naked.
Chris was drunk too.
First off, Sturge, that was just with you guys here. You and I together.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
They
I
probably
made a,
when you're here. You're probably
I made
right.
No,
a
I'm
promise.
What was your promise?
It's my wife's turn to drink.
Oh yeah,
Deal. That's fine. That's totally fucking fine, dude. Oh God, your wives are gonna drink. Oh God, I'm so upset now.
Yeah, don't.
Oh wait, is Amy gonna drink?
Chris,
Tell Amy, I promise. Tell Amy, I promise I won't kick you guys out randomly out of
Amy's probably
nowhere.
at work.
And to be fair,
Oh, I
Fred's the one that told me to tell you guys when to peace out.
I can show you the text of that one too.
Fred literally said, just let us know when you want us to leave. I said, okay. I got to the point where I wanted to do something, and I said, all right, time to bounce.
Yeah,
How many times do I do that, Dylan?
But the end story is, when they're asleep, they're like, "Yeah, don't touch me."
What are you talking about? When they're asleep, I wake them up. But
Oh, that's worse.
I don't know.
I don't wake the sleeping bear.
Yeah, I do. I'll poke that motherfucker until they're awake, bud.
Oh no.
Hey, you want to have sex? Don't touch me. I'm sleeping.
First off, Jason,
Sure.
multiple shirts
Want to
came
now?
off.
I'll Lacy Peterson. I don't give a fuck. Sorry, that's fucked up. Never mind.
I do got something
Now we're
serious
banned.
real quick.
I fucked up just now again, didn't I?
Something serious real quick.
Hold on, Peanut has something serious.
Something serious.
I'm sorry about that.
We didn't get a chance to do our advertisement tonight that you love to do.
Welcome to American Whiskey, where we can be brought to you without our favorite people in the whole entire world. Or not winery. We've got the one and only Fred, the master of the process, and the one and only sexiest whiner out there. He's a whiner. Let me tell you something. He's a whiner. But the brains of the operation is also Chris needs help. He's holding the bottle right now. Fred, knock out a couple of the flavors you got to offer right now.
We have the Nurse, which is tropical sangria. We have a tart cherry. We have a Moscato, a Merlot. Ooh, a spiced apple and a mulled wine for Christmas, like a holiday helper.
We got a few cabs left.
Keep talking to us dirty, boy. My bad. Easy is.
We got Pinot too.
And they can catch you on www.burnedoutwinery.com.
Yes.
And you guys will deliver within an hour, correct? If it's outside of an hour, Dylan and I,
Whiskey will deliver.
if it's outside of an hour, we have decided we would like to meet you. If it's outside of an hour, it doesn't matter how many hours, we will come and bring it to you.
Yes.
So if you're in California, the boys will bring it to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Baby.
Absolutely. That's absolutely. We absolutely want to meet these people. Dylan brought it up to us.
Hook,
I was
line, sinker.
done. So if you are in the United States,
You have to pay for shipping.
No, we're coming to them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Road trip.
It's a road trip. We want to do it. We want to see.
Charge them for shipping, and that's our gas money.
What are you talking about? California's way more than $14, dude.
I want to see their faces when they.
No, so we wanted to surprise you guys with this. We wanted to surprise. This was Dylan's idea. I thought it was a good idea. He said, "What if we delivered it an hour outside of?" I was like, "What if California hits or Washington or like?" He's like, "Doesn't matter. Let's just fucking do it." So we want to see how far Burned Out Winery can take us.
Now, if you get one in Hawaii, I'm on it.
No, it's got to be in North America.
Oh,
That is North America.
Hawaii is.
Hawaii is like way off of the. It's got to be on the inland, bro.
Oh,
you
in
gotta
the
be able to
continental
drive.
United States.
We got
Okay,
some
I'm
going to
fucking sorry. I don't
Texas.
own a fucking yacht or an airplane, and I'm broke. So yeah, it's got to be drivable.
Hey, they got some.
Okay.
You're going to drive to California.
Absolutely, Dylan.
I'm always down for something once.
Can Dylan get off on work?
Dude,
I have 3 days off a week.
yeah, we can make it happen. Let's see if you guys
That's it,
can get a
government.
road
takes
trip
3
out of
days to
American
get
Whiskey
there.
to deliver. That's the question. Can you guys get us delivered? Let's see how far you can get us.
Texas.
Okay.
We just had one from
we
Texas.
Yeah,
I
we just sent
love
that
Texas.
one out.
All right, well, send us the next one. We're sending. Well, we're gonna plan it,
Okay.
and we're gonna go.
Hey, I'm
Okay.
the one that got Texas covered.
Yeah, thanks, man. By the way, thanks.
No, I
buddy.
appreciate that.
Besides that one, he'll take care of that one. But no, seriously, let's do it. We want to have a good time doing it. We think it'd be fun to interact with people, and
I
that's
think Texas is the farthest we've sent. We've sent something now.
okay. Well, your next one that's out of an hour reach, we want to do it.
All
Longer
right.
than Cali. I'm not going to Cali.
Dilly, right? Hey,
go to
there's
Cali.
a
That's a
reason.
whole different country.
There's a reason Dylan was made, the manager of the podcast. It's not because he's organized, because we know he's not.
Well, that's clear.
No, he's not organized. Well, what he does have,
I bought a fucking calendar for us.
he did,
Yeah, but it said 1992.
but it was half off.
Yeah,
First off, at least I have internet.
That's fucked up.
Hey,
My phone is
Leave his-
pinging and-
Leave his
Pinging
cricket
in
mobile
Pennsylvania.
alone.
I kind of like flying by the seat of our pants because you never really know.
Hey, by the way, did you get
That
any
is
tires
true.
on your truck yet?
Say that again.
No, Peanut. Did you get new tires on the truck?
Oh, not yet.
Are you going to get them before we take off?
Hey, you know what?
Listen, I got to take your truck, but I drive
That's cool.
because I'm the driver. Dylan will tell you. I'll be like, hey, can you drive half the way?
We'll blow
14 hours later, I'm still chugging along.
We'll blow them babies out.
Plus, you're not very good at navigating.
Well, as long as I don't trust this stupid crapple.
No, it wasn't the crapple.
I
It's the
need an
fact that you
Android.
put that we were trying to walk to John Benson's, not drive.
How about this?
But-
3.5 hours
Hold on.
later, I was like, yo, bruh,
But
we should have
did
been there an hour ago.
But did
What
you
the
not-
fuck's happening? He's like, let me look at my phone. It says we're walking. I'm like, Jesus.
But did
fucking
you not
Christ.
see some pretty scenery?
if Peanut drives,
Yeah, but
if Peanut drives,
Yeah, we
I'll be
did.
the navigator.
no, I'll drive. You navigate, and he'll be in the back sleeping.
But
Nah,
Have
when-
some snacks.
We don't. So you know,
How
you
about
can. You
guys
just
use
you
like,
pop it up on the dash, and you fall asleep, and then I'll
and
wake
then
you
I
up.
wake
on
up like, oh,
no, I
where we
wake
at?
you up. I'm like, yo, Dylan, what's next? And he's like,
I'll sit.
Let me
in the
take a
look.
back
right.
and
Exit
pass-
32, 119 miles.
I'll sit in the back and pass Dylan beers.
That's fine. And
But
me.
like I was saying, I was going to get serious for a minute.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
I had another serious thing. When you guys come up, will you bring me 2 bottles of childcare? Ain't that the Apple one?
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
clicking whatever the fuck
I'm
it is you're
sorry.
clicking,
I'm
Peanut.
about to fucking hit him.
I get nervous.
Will you bring
What are
him?
you nervous for?
Send him a link. He'll buy it off you. He wants 2 bottles of childcare. He's
I'm
been
gonna
talking
pay-
about it for
I'm
3
gonna pay
hours.
cash.
I
Just
need
bring
2
me
bottles
stuff
of
so I can pay
childcare as
cash.
well.
That's
Okay.
4 bottles.
Give me
I'm
2
paying
bottles
cash.
of dry wine. Do you got any Pino or the Pino? Is it Pino?
Pinot.
The
Yeah,
penis
we got Pinot left. We have a little bit of Chardonnay.
Give me 2 Chardonnays and a Pinot.
Okay.
All right.
You need to write that down.
No,
Do your wives need anything?
That's a good. That's actually what I want.
Because I'm just trying to protect you guys.
You know, I never contacted her. Here I am, like ordering wine, and I've never was a whiner.
let's just let it happen.
Yeah.
No, you're not married, so it's easy for you to say that. We're gonna
I'll let
figure
her-
out what we.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine Stephanie or Jen not getting
how
asked
aged
what
is
they
your
want?
wine? That's a good question. How aged is your wine? They actually got a good one coming out. That'll be aged.
I can tell.
If you
The
guys wanna hit
drive.
on it.
Wait, Jason Davis said he'd be our DD on all trips.
That's okay. Well, listen. Let's talk about how aged is your wine. Let's talk about
So our
that.
our dry wines are aged at least 6 months before I even stick it in a bottle.
But they stick it right in. So there's another one coming out. I mean, don't you? I mean, you got An aged
The
barrel
same
wine.
because all the sweet wines, the sweet wine usually takes from the time I start fermenting it out until I put it in a bottle. Could be
Okay. So any barrel aged wines coming
this
out?
wine barrel coming
Fred, you
in the
froze.
tank.
Oh, Fred's still on Cricket
No, I
Mobile
didn't.
and not the Wi-Fi.
I'm gonna need you to just get an Android, please.
Shut up.
No.
Is there?
it's
Do you
not
guys?
Android?
Apple and Android?
Does anybody have? Do you guys have any type of oak barreled wine coming out or anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still
Once it ages, we'll put that in the barrel, and it will be coming out.
Lies. Oh, you know what? I'm
Hey,
out of here.
Corey-
You know what? I'm gonna.
Corey, you said you're new.
I'm done.
You said I'm a new wino.
Especially with those guys.
I was the same as you. I was only whiskey, bourbon, and I was newer in the moonshine game.
Are you
But
okay, bud?
I straight up said there was not a wine that I could drink. I tried their products, and I'm hooked to every single one of them.
I was 100% truly guy
Tastes like
until
shit.
I started drinking their wine.
Is he upset?
I probably got to go pee.
You know how you
Sturge.
get on the podcast.
You need me to hold it?
Probably
It's a lot quieter now.
No, it's because Sturge walked away.
No, I get a lot of
Fred, run!
whiskey guys that
Fred,
a
run!
lot of whiskey people and stuff that say they don't like wine, and then they tend to like it.
Fred, run!
Let me tell you what, your child care is right out there about the problem.
Fred, are the cops coming for you?
No, they're coming after Sturge because it's against the law to touch a little boy's penis.
Jesus, Fred.
Again.
I thought Springfield was bad. Inglewood's pretty tough out there.
That's just a fire truck.
Oh, okay. We're
Yeah,
good.
the,
It's just
The cops are going for Fred.
well, the interesting thing, there was a good deep red they had. I thought it was going to be a aged wine, but
It is going to be
It
aged.
is.
what's it called?
I'm aging it right now.
What's it called?
It's called Cranky
We haven't
Podcaster.
figured that out yet. Yeah, the crankiest podcaster out there.
I did that honestly. I
Dylan's got hurt for a second.
feelings are a little hurt.
I didn't get my.
Are you guys taking turns?
Yeah, bro, we've been at it for a while. For some reason or another, we've decided we're going to start doing 3-hour episodes. I don't know when that started.
Yeah, we're like almost 2.5 hours now.
Here, watch. I'll be doing. Hey, since you're up to go to the bathroom, you grab me a beer. That's Dylan for you every time, dude. Grab a beer.
Here comes the fire truck.
Grab 3 beers.
You know what the sad part is?
He only waits until I go to the bathroom.
He's over here peeing in a bottle waiting for you to go to the bathroom.
Dude, I know, bro. He's like pissing on my carpet, dude. And then I go.
Is he the toilet flange guy?
Dude, I sneak out just to go to the. No, I am. But I go out to sneak. I just sneak out, dude. He's like, grab me a beer. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, every fucking time.
Is he like the guy that used to stand?
I don't know what you're saying, Fred. You've refused to go Wi-Fi, so I don't know what you're saying, brother. He's refused. He's an Amish. He's an Amish. He only believes in Cricket Mobile.
That didn't do. Is that better?
I shaved my mustache off today.
Everybody froze my peanut when I did that.
No, bro, that's your phone. Nobody's freezing but you on our end.
That's because we both have
Okay.
like the
Is that
crap. Mine's always messing up.
And for some reason you're above some like, are you like on the moon? Is that the moon behind? Oh, really? Is that the moon behind you, Fred?
I don't know where to go, man. Everywhere I go,
Can you do the moonwalk?
somebody's watching.
Do the moonwalk right now.
I'm hard of hearing.
Is Chris yelling at his kids right now, or what's happening?
He's hollering at Fred. Thank you, sir.
He's like, get your goddamn ass on the Wi-Fi.
Get in the house.
And he's like, you said turn the Wi-Fi on?
Get in the house.
What's
The
Wi-Fi?
neighbors are hollering.
Corey, what do you
Hey, I
think?
just
I'm gonna get
Can I
insulted.
tell you guys something?
I'm heavy.
Yeah, you can tell us something.
Say hi, Big Sturge and Dylan
I
and
was going to
Peanut.
dress up as a giraffe for the Halloween costume.
What's up, little man?
What up?
What's up, dude?
Say hi.
Oh,
Chris
he's
wants to know if we
giving
can take a shot. Are we taking another shot?
Corey, what
He's
are you
like
taking
Uncle
a shot
Fred's
of?
in the
Yeah,
next
let's take a
room.
shot. Why not?
Yeah, let's do it. Corey wants to take a
Let's
shot.
take a
What are we
shot.
taking a shot of?
You're, never mind.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's all thing.
Yeah.
Dylan already
Yep.
did.
All right, here. Anybody want to take a shot? I got shots over here. Anybody want this one? It's the
Hey,
bastard.
Princess. Okay, Princess, what are we shooting?
I filled mine up. Who's taking theirs?
Root beer shine.
Where did
She wants to
where'd
shoot
our
some
boy
root
go?
beer
Where'd our
shine.
boy go?
Beer? We got beer.
Where'd little
He
man
got
go?
shot.
Root bear.
Did he?
I see.
Oh, he went inside. He found something dangerous to play with, and
What are we shooting on here?
That's
no,
fair
I'm
enough.
just kidding.
I don't know why I always ask what we're shooting because I'm going to shoot.
I did get
anyways.
called a homophobe today because I told some guy to stop peeing on the ground. Thought that was odd.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I work.
We had some Mountain Dew shine here,
He's
Jason.
like, you're a homophobe. My manager was like, what? It was weird. Like, well, my sister's married to a woman, but whatever.
All right, this one we got to cheer this one to Corey since she's making us do a shot.
Is she taking the shot?
She said one.
Hey, are you taking a shot too?
2, 3. No, they don't take shots. That's the new golden rule. Same as boys don't take shots.
That's not true. I just was not prepared.
I'm not allowed. My medicine doesn't allow me to.
Did I kiss your
we-
head that
we
night? And I
know,
was
we
like,
see
is
what
that
happens.
Niagara Falls or why the fuck is he leaking like that? And then I tasted the sweat and then I tasted your brother's sweat on his head. And I was like, they're not brothers.
No.
That's different.
We're-
Yeah.
We were twins.
He's Fred's much more salty.
Yeah.
That's good.
He's
That was good. That was a good one.
That was a good day.
I thought I should be a stand-up comedian, but whatever.
You should. You shouldn't quit your day job either.
Huh?
You shouldn't. You should not quit your day job either.
I got fired. Thanks for bringing it up, man.
Look, this
Appreciate
Corey,
that.
she's like
I got fired for being a homophobe.
she's got a cup with a few shots in it, so she's like drinking it with stuff.
Did you really?
No,
No.
he didn't get fired.
No, I didn't get fired. That was a
He
joke.
runs that
Why'd
place.
It's
your
your
dog,
job now.
why'd your
Hi,
dog eat,
Maya.
What do you mean?
why'd your dog
Dylan,
eat,
what'd you-
eat you out?
What you feed your dog last?
My God, here we go. They want to know why your dog's so skinny. They met
I
him
fed
up.
him while I was there, Dylan.
First off,
He had
so
about 17 shots, a bunch of
Good job.
Chinese food.
hey, Fred, you ready to feel like a dick?
Not what for throwing up and your dog eating it.
That
No.
actually happened.
I get that. So
No, your dog ate the Chinese food he ate.
so
Been
the,
there,
I'm
done
telling
that.
you, your dog ate my Chinese food.
so the reason why my dog was skinny is her
I know why
brother
your dog. You're not gonna make me
passed
feel
away.
like a dick.
and she stopped eating for almost 2 weeks. Sturge and Peanut here know that I had to take her to the vet to get anxiety
true.
meds for her just to start eating again.
And then she still wasn't eating. He brought her over and he found our dogs.
They have feelings.
The main reason she started eating again was I started getting her mashed potatoes and gravy from my local bar.
You'll have to
And
get her some
I
Chinese
think
food
here-
next.
No, I just fed her dog food and she ate it. So it
That
worked
was
out.
after the mashed potatoes and gravy.
It worked
But,
out.
but no, that's why she was skinny. But now she's
I
getting
know why
away,
your dog's. I know
and
why
she's
your dog
looking
was
good.
skinny.
She's looking good, but she's never lost that energy.
That's true.
What energy?
What do you mean? What?
That
energy?
dog's a fucking nutcase, dude. That
She's
dog's
a
all over the
fucking
place.
bullet train,
That
Oh, I
dog's-
know. She was all over the place.
and she's
She was.
8 years old, dude. Would you believe that?
No.
She
8?
did have her head in the bucket.
That's your guys' fault.
What bucket?
Girl over here.
The blue bucket sitting outside the door.
She's got the soft.
That's water.
Yeah.
She was drinking
Oh.
water out of it. That's literally rainwater.
Oh,
She was thirsty.
She also
too.
drinks fucking piss water out of my basement toilet, and I gotta get her to stop doing that.
Flush it.
I don't need to. It's my toilet. It's not my fucking fault his dog drinks out of it.
Whenever I get here, I go.
I'm trying to. First off, it must be nice to be able to afford that much water usage.
When I get here, I flush the toilet. Just
Unless it floats, I don't flush.
It's like a dime, dude. Every flush costs like
If it's pee, you let it be. If it floats, you let it go, sir.
Hey, Corey,
float just to prove it, point to everybody. Like, look at this, guy.
No, your point is if it floats, you flush it.
Hey, Corey, would you be willing to send some you make for us to try?
Yeah, we'll try it.
And you
She didn't lay by your feet the whole time, David. She was fucking everywhere.
You need to try some Burnout Winery's wine. It is the best you'll ever have.
I don't know.
You guys see all that cheese for the mac and cheese?
I actually can't hear anything.
Can I get some mac and cheese and turkey?
Yeah, I'll bring
Listen,
you
you can come over to the Thanksgiving.
Corey, I sent you a friend request. Just message me and we'll work something out.
Wait, marijuana?
No.
No, she said I make shine. Oh, wait, tincture.
Off here, we can talk.
Isn't tincture marijuana?
That's how much you'll need.
Oh, stop.
I'm not gonna fucking stop, bud. She
No.
just put it in the fucking comments.
Let it go.
I'm not gonna let it go. It's in the fucking comments.
Let it go.
I do sell a gift. You mean you don't sell?
I'm so fucking confused, bro. She put it in the comments.
Hold on.
Gummies too.
I don't understand what the fucking secret is here.
I
She
think-
put it in the comments, Dylan.
Oh,
That'd
she
be
got
like saying
gummies.
I'm a hooker, but leave it alone, bud. $100. $100.
She got
Anything you want to do.
gummies, man.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
I think we got a new partner in crime.
Well, the Samans think Dylan's doesn't feed his dog.
Oh,
and
but she was that lady. Was the person that said that? Was that person at the farm the bottle?
No, she's like a new
a
on the
new listener,
podcast
bro.
here,
She's a
dude.
new listener,
Yeah.
dude.
We're
Oh, hey, how are you? I can't see the comments. I haven't figured that far ahead.
I think we got to sign
Hey,
into
that music,
YouTube.
you
Or
told me
something.
I suck, Corey. I'm not gonna play it. You said I sucked.
She needs a little Ohio moonshine.
Oh,
Ohio moonshine, running clear. I can play it if you want me to. I'm all down
Play
for
it.
playing.
Are you guys going to be on a little bit longer? I'm going to go help my wife put the kids to bed.
Take your shot, Fred.
Nobody
Word.
tagged it.
no. Hey, I did earlier. Shut
Shut the
We'll be
cock.
on here a little longer. You can go to bed.
You want a little
All
high?
right.
We're gonna play Ohio moonshine while you put the kiddos to bed.
All right, for about 2 hours.
Yeah, probably.
He'll
Wait,
play
why
it
does
for
it
about
take
an
I
hour.
two
I'm just trying to figure. I did see a comment that said you woke Chris up, and who was that?
I don't know.
She said she did not say you sucked. You were just warming up.
Yeah, you're ready for Ohio moonshine. You got your warm up
Maya.
out of the way, brother.
I mean, I can play it. You want me to play it?
Let's play it while Chris puts the kids to bed.
He ain't gonna come back on here. I promise.
Yeah, he will.
That is not true. Well, you might be off by the time there.
No, I'm about to play it right now,
We
bud.
got Fred. We'll
All right, I'll be back.
Oh, so you're not gonna listen to it first? I got you, man.
He's gonna listen to it while he puts.
No,
I've
no,
heard it 3,700 times.
That's I'm about to play it. I'm about to play it live, and you're gonna miss out on it. Go
could be-
ahead, bud.
It could be the kids' lullaby.
Here we go. Yeah, put them right.
Put your kids on here. I'll tell them to drink. See, it's all about alcohol.
Oh my goodness.
It is. It is. I'm all about feeding my kids liquor. Down in the hills of Ohio, where the cornfields grow tall, a secret brew that's known to one and all. In the light of Ohio moon, they work through the night, cooking up that homemade shine by pale moonlight. Oh, Ohio shine, running clear and strong. In the heart of Buckeye State, where the nights are long. From the stills hidden in the hollers to the rivers of wines. Ohio moonshine, it's a way of life for those who walk the line. Ohio moonshine, it's a way of life for those who walk the line. From Cincinnati to Cleveland and all points in between, there's a tradition that's been passed down, a legacy unseen. In the heart of heaven moonshiner, there's a story to be told of the craft and the pride and every drop of that liquid gold. Oh, Ohio moonshine, running clear with strong bone. Buckeye State, where the nights are long. From the stills hidden in the hollers to the rivers of wine. Ohio moonshine, it's a way of life for those who walk the line. Ohio moonshine, it's a way of life for those who walk the line. When the sun goes down and the stars come out, that's when the copper cores come alive without a doubt. The whispers of the wind, the rustling of the trees, you can hear the call of the moonshiners carrying on the family legacy. Yeah. Oh, Ohio moonshine, running clear and strong home. In the heart of the Buckeye State, where the nights are long. From the stills hidden in the hollers to the rivers that wind. Ohio moonshine, it's a way of life for those who walk the line. Ohio moonshine, it's a way of life for those who walk the line. So here's to Ohio moonshine and the ones that kept the flame. May their spirits run free and that fucking legacy remain. In the hills of Ohio, where the moon still shines bright, we're gonna raise a jar of that good old shine, baby. We're gonna let the Ohio shine bright. Oh, Ohio moonshine, running clear with strong moon. In the heart of the Buckeye State, where the nights are long. From stills hidden in the hollers to the rivers that winds. Ohio moonshine, it's a way of life for those who walk the line. Ohio moonshine, it's a way of life for those who walk the line. Couple homies hanging out in the crib doing what we do. We got Fred and sometimes Chris too. But you never know when those kids gotta go to bed. But Chris hanging in the back, go ahead. We chillin', we reminiscing, we kicking it. It might be a Saturday, but like it's a Friday. But we hanging out every night or two, doing everything like I know you want to too. But we just doing what it is that we do, mixing up a little moonshine and now a little wine too. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, we're kicking back, we trying to relax. But now we're too drunk to have that. So we kick back, we just hanging out, doing what it is that we do. Yeah, got burned out. Let's have a little whiskey. Burned out, winery. Yeah. I got kind of burned out, so I took a bottle to the dome. Then I realized I could probably do better than they do. They do, Fred do. I call it Fred's Brew.
Oh,
Got him!
got him! Sirs, that freestyle at the end was fucking lit.
I
You
like
get
that, dude.
I called it Fred's Brew. Halloween time, Fred's Brew.
Hey, Corey, just letting you know that freestyle at the end was totally just made up on the whim.
I did. That was true. No, the moonshine part wasn't made up, but I did make up the end of it. Hey, Fred, I rapped about you. Did you like it?
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. My brother was laughing when you talked about him sometimes too.
Fred's always on a Saturday, Friday. Sometimes Chris is too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Now sometimes I throw a freestyle in here and there. Sometimes it's up, but sometimes I go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
Time is fire.
We're getting ready to make macaroni and cheese,
That's how we came to be
and then
Part-
the turkey.
the freestyling.
Yeah, it was that
You can,
we never talked about that.
Let's talk about it, Dylan.
So the reason why Peanut's here today is we were drunk outside the campgrounds,
We was real drunk.
and Sir just starts freestyling.
No, that's not what happened. Dylan's like, hey man, people are hanging out around here. Like, grab your guitar. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do it. And he makes me take a shot or three. And then I was like, look, all right, I'll grab the guitar. And Dylan's like, he's getting me going. Dylan's always like my guy. You know what I'm saying? He's always like, fuck it, dude. Let's
I
do
wasn't
it.
trying to take any credit here. I was trying to give it all to you.
But what do you mean? What do you mean you're the credit?
I was trying. You're giving me credit right now.
Well,
I'm trying
but I
to give
wouldn't
it
have
all
done
to
if
you.
it wasn't for you. I would never got the guitar.
Hey, that's why we're brothers.
That's what I'm saying.
We hype each other up.
Hey, Corey, we appreciate you chilling, hanging out. We're on every Tuesday, but I think we're picking up Fridays as well. We're probably doing Saturdays too with the my boy Fred and Chris and his family. But Dylan's the hype man for sure.
But Corey, message me. I send you a friend request, and we'll link up about that other stuff.
Yeah, for sure. But Dylan's definitely the hype man. Like, we were in Hillsborough. Was it Hillsborough?
I don't know.
Well,
We've been to so many
Bainbridge or
different
some shit. Like,
places.
so we were somewhere one time, and he made me take my guitar.
No, that
Where was that?
dude. That
What was
was
that?
no, that was not even popcorn. What was the other festival we went to?
It was Bainbridge.
No, it wasn't. It was in
Hillsdale? I don't fucking know.
no, it was in another state.
We've been to so many different places. Dylan and I have been to so many different spots. It was in Kentucky. I don't remember now, bro. And Dylan,
Dude, it was a place we went and got Mexican food, and they were fucking with you.
I remember,
saying they were
bro.
gonna-
I remember.
Vince came.
Yeah, so we go to this random ass town, I guess.
No. What's that guy's name?
Bro, I don't want to sit here and think for the next 15 minutes
No,
what this place
the
is called.
moonshiner's name that lived up on the big hill that we didn't go to because we were like, fuck that shit.
I forget, dude.
Evil?
Beatty'sville.
Beattyville.
Thank you.
Jason got you.
So Dylan makes me take my guitar. I don't know why, and I'm like, I'm thinking because we're out in the country or whatever, and we're gonna play guitar and
I had
I'll
a plan.
freestyle.
I
I'll
had a
freestyle or whatever because we have a good time when I freestyle because I crack on people and have a good time. Well, at some point during this thing, he comes over and he's like, "Hey, let me get the keys. I got to run back to the Airbnb." And I'm like, "All right." And like 10 minutes later, him and John Bence.
No, Bence.
Bence pulls up with the guitar, and I'm like, "What is that for?"
Like literally, guys.
He's like, "You're not allowed to ask questions." Dylan
a
said,
little backstory to what he's saying right now is I saw an opportunity. There was a lot of gaps in between singers. So I went to the person putting on this festival and I was like, hey, what are the odds we can get Big Sturge up there? And they have heard Big Sturge. And they're like, hold on, I'll take you to our sound guy. Went and talked to him. He's like, hey, we have an opening in 15 minutes. I was like, fuck. So
I didn't know that part.
I just ran to Sturge and I was like, give me your keys.
I didn't think about it. I was like, all right.
He gave me the keys, not thinking twice about it. I told him I had to run back to the Airbnb. I grabbed Bence. I was like, hey, you're coming with me. He didn't even know.
Well, then Bence him and his short ass is literally running up to me with my big ass guitar case.
The reason why that happened is because on the way back, Bence was like, what's going on? And I was like, dude, Sturge is getting on stage. Like, we are grabbing, Donnie Benton. But we're on our way back to the Airbnb. He's like, what's going on? I was like, I got Sturge on stage.
Yeah.
And he's like, why do you need me? And I told him, I was like, Bence, listen, I don't know how close we can park, how close we were, because we were literally right around the corner. I told him, I said, you're here, so I can drop you off as close as possible. You're getting out with a guitar, and you're telling him, I don't give a fuck. You're getting him on stage no matter what.
Well, so he runs up to me, and he's like, he's got my guitar case. And I'm like, which is as big as him, literally. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, tune it up. Like, no, he hands to me. He's like, you're getting on stage. I was like, dude, I got to tune it up, find my picks. Like, how much time do I have? And he's
None.
like, I don't fucking know, dude. He's like, you got to take it up right now. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then Dylan runs up. Then I got him, Josh, Jason. They all walk me up to the stage. I feel like I got bodyguards around me. They're taking me up to the stage. I get up there, dude. I didn't have time to smoke a blunt, a joint, a fucking gummy, nothing. So I'm like, dude, I have a panic attack on stage. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I haven't done this since high school, right? So I'm like, they're all putting earbuds inside me. They're hooking up my guitar. They're like, let me know if you can hear. And I'm like, they're sound checking me. And I'm like, I got to tune my guitar. And they're like, all right, tune it up. And I was like, well, it can't be plugged in. I said, my guitar is weird. If I plug it in, I can't tune it. He's like, we're going to have to, he said, it's already in. You got to tune it while it's on. I'll turn you off. And I was like, all right. So I tried to tune it, dude. I fucked it up bad. I couldn't tune it. And I was like, dude, I can't tune the guitar. He gave me two options. He's like, don't play or play. And I was like, Dylan's like, you're fucking playing. I was like, all right. So I capoed up one fret because I felt like I dropped it down a bit. So I capoed up my guitar one fret, and I'm like, fuck it. I guess, like, I don't know these people. Fuck it. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? So I laid it down, dude. And there was this boy that I met earlier that day. Never met him. And his dad comes up and he's like, are you Big Sturge? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, do you do the song Ohio Moonshine? I was like, yeah. He's like, my son loves that song. Can he come up and say hi? Oh, man. So I was like, yeah, whatever.
But Sturge.
So he comes up, we take a picture, and Dylan and I sign a shirt, American Whiskey shirt. So when I'm singing up on stage, I look over and I'm playing Ohio Moonshine, and this fucking kid's rocking out to it.
But Sturge, it's a little more than that.
It's not more,
Like,
but you can't tell
that's
me
a
it's more.
humbling feeling. That's
What do you mean
great,
it's more than that? I'm telling you, that's what it was for me. When I look out,
I get that. But from an outsider looking in, there were so many fucking Ohio Moonshiners there,
well, you didn't let me finish.
and they all came up just to listen to you.
Motherfucker, you didn't let me finish. I was going to shout them out too.
Go ahead.
But it meant I love my Ohio Moonshine guys. I love them. But to see some random ass kid from Kentucky that came up to me and asked me, like, and he's over here, a Kentucky boy singing Ohio Moonshine song.
Well, that's like our story, We've told it on here before. It's crazy. I remember watching when you first came out with Ohio Moonshine. Well, I don't know if it first came out with it, but first time you really were playing it, you're going to play it down at John Benson's place. I was following you by then anyways, and I was like, man, this is cool. Then, of course, at Farm to Bottle, my wife's sitting there, and I see you walk. I'm like, dude, that's Big Sturge.
He was starstruck.
I seriously was. I was starstruck. I'm like, that's Big Sturge.
Shut the fuck up, guy.
Yeah.
But no,
time
he
out.
didn't
No,
say shit about it. No, he did. Listen, he did. He didn't say shit about it until you started singing.
I'm like, that's Big Sturge when I see you come across, and you started singing, about Josie, and you're like, oh, I don't want to offend him, get him mad.
But no, even before that, Peanut, before he started in on Josie and everything and Jen, you guys were sitting outside and he was just singing random songs.
Yeah.
And I noticed you guys were vibing.
Oh, yeah.
And Sturge even yelled at you guys and said, come over here. And then that's when he started doing it.
All right. So,
was
anyways,
working
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Listen, I'm just some fucking random ass dude.
You're not some random ass dude.
Yes, I am.
No.
Stop.
No, you're not.
You might.
You guys are starting to piss me off a little bit.
I'll fight you.
Oh yeah.
You'll beat me, but I'll fight you.
Yeah. I'll bite your ankles.
You're not some random ass dude.
No.
Yeah, you
are
need to give yourself a little bit more credit.
Ohio Moonshine.
I'm not doing this.
You're
rocks
making
so
it
many
somewhere.
I'm not doing this.
You don't have to. We're doing it.
people. Yeah, we're doing it. We love you.
You're not some random ass dude.
We look up to you. That's why we're here every weekend.
Without you, would any of this be
Or
happening?
Tuesday. Yeah. You've done all.
Whether it's your music
You
or
got 4 days of podcasts that you do now. Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and sometimes
I
Saturdays.
mean, I was the
4
guy
days.
that used to follow you on, the internet. Then I'm like, I never had a clue you were this close to me. And then I was like, hey, man, Mind if I come
I
have?
appreciate it.
And then you're like, dude, I said, I remember saying, I kind of like to be part of the group, part of the podcast. And you're like, I thought you already were. And I was like, damn.
Man, it's family, baby.
So,
like,
That's it.
Peanut, it's funny you say that because after your first time being here, Sturge and I literally, and Doug, we put it in the group chat and no one second guessed anything. Like, it was one of those instant connections that we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean,
we knew that you wanted to be involved, but after the first time you came here, we were all like, we need that.
like we talk about being like, listen, like when we started hanging out with Fred and Chris and all them,
It was instant.
I felt starstruck by them. I was like, I mean, we're around all kinds of moonshiners, right? How many winery guys? How many people that we know that make wine? And so when we found that out over in Hillsboro, it was the same thing for me. Like, I ain't shit. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I got, like,
you could think what you want, big guy. You
no,
don't give
buddy,
yourself
listen,
are.
no, we are American Whiskey. We created something. We created something great. And I think and I told you guys this, I told you guys this the last 2 days. I believe that we're destined for 2025. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to dive into it. And I'm going to do everything that I can to get us to wherever that is going to be. But I know it's going to be with Burned Out Winery. We've talked about it. These are our people. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dylan brought it up to me. He's like, dude, I went over and fucking talk to these people and they're fucking cool as fuck. I'll be honest with you. When I first saw them at Hillsboro, I was like, what the fuck are they doing here? I'll be honest.
That's what I said when I walked in. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. I would have seconded you if you would have said something, but then Dylan's like, "They're cool as fuck," and I was like,
"Okay."
"Okay."
On my shoulder, and I walked over.
And then ever since then,
you guys have been family.
It's been a thing. And I swear to you, I had this dream that Peanut drove this bus over to my house, and we remodeled this bus into a drive studio, and it had like cots and all this shit to where we could do live sessions. And everywhere we went, you guys was there.
I'd be there.
We'd pull up and you guys was already set up in there. So it was like, in my dream, I felt like we was doing this together. And I was like, these are our people. Like, we're their people. Like, I feel like we're just family. And so, like, I appreciate the music love. I appreciate everything else. But it's like, we wouldn't be where we're at with Burned Out. Like, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't, I know whatever it is that you guys think that I've done, whatever that is, it's fine, but it's bigger than me. It's bigger than, but what I do believe is we've created something special. We've created something together. We've created something over the last 3-4 months with Burned Out that's probably going to be pretty contagious. I think the thing that we're doing right now is probably contagious. I think, I'm going to say it right now. Like, even if we could go political views, we don't line up with them necessarily, right? But the love that we have for each other is greater than that.
That's it.
And so you put these two things together and you see the fact that we are bonding so good, and that Fred and I talk on the phone a couple times a week for 45 minutes or more each time.
I mean,
or the fact that, like, we're podcasting with them on the weekends, or Dylan, you're over there with a wireless mic talking with them, whatever it be
together. Like,
it doesn't matter, right?
It's a fucking
no.
So I believe in 2025. I told Dylan this the other day. I really want to murder the fuck out of 2024. We don't got a lot of time left, but I want to murder it.
We got to start close to home, though, first.
What's that?
We got to start close to home, man.
Well, that's what it doesn't matter. I want to stay close to home, baby. That's what all about American whiskey is all about, buddy. Like,
it's all about our local community.
It's local. That's why that's all it's about for me. That's why I created it in the first place. When I talked to Dylan, let's stay local, and no matter where we go, we'll always be local. Always.
Yeah. I'm a
We could be
local person,
podcasting.
man.
We could be podcasting in Wyoming, but I guarantee one thing: they're gonna know about Ohio.
I mean,
Right.
it's like the
And guess
raffle
what?
we
Burned
did.
Out Winery is going to be there. They're going to know about fucking Inglewood.
It's like the raffle we did at Farm to Bottle.
Yeah.
That was all about local community.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because they were.
that's something we're never.
I
gonna
had somebody
stop.
come up to me and they said, "We thought about donating this, but we're not going to." I said, "That's fine." I said, "You don't have to." They said, "Do you want to know why?" I said, "Sure." They were in the building next to us. They said, "Because we don't believe you." I said, "Believe us about what?" And they're like, "About that little boy." Dude, I went back to the camper drinking beer by myself, and Josh Jones comes up. He's like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." I said, "I just need time to think to myself." It broke my heart, dude. I was like, because
And
so
you-
my wife and my kids took that money over to their house and sent me a picture of that little boy.
he wore the hat for days.
Dude, he wore it to chemotherapy. You know,
And
That's
Serge,
right,
you know
dude.
me.
it ain't right.
Serge, you know me. And
Fred,
that's-
my response to them was, well, first off, I'm not gonna lie. When I responded back to him, it was shitty.
and Sturge,
I can't lie about it. I was
and
like,
you know what? I thank you right now
I
because
was
you
shitty
know
about
me.
it.
If you would have told me that, I would have went and tore their shit up.
I understand that, but I'm the same way, bro. But I'm not gonna tell you guys that, cause a scene. I told them that they didn't have to come say anything. And I said, the fact that you think that shows that you shouldn't be here, because this is
Right.
Bottle Festival. We're all family. We're all here for the same thing. And clearly you are not. Take your fucking bracelets and shove them in your ass. I don't give a shit.
If you would have told me that, I would have caused a fucking scene.
But what we did do was raise almost $2,000 and it helped out. And I know that it did. And that's what it's all about. So no matter where we are, Fred, you already know we're repping that.
And
Right.
if these people were honest about it, if they would have came over and seen it, we were bidding on shit that we put on there.
Actually, we bidded on things because people weren't, just to get people to bid.
Like, but what I'm saying is stuff that we put in there.
Yeah,
We were bidding on
We
it
were.
just to raise money.
we were. And that's what it's all
And
about.
I'm glad you didn't tell me.
It is what it is, bro. Tell me, how many things that you don't know that I see on these fucking messages, bro?
I could tell you
Let me tell you this. It doesn't matter what people think, dude.
No,
I-
that's what I learned. I don't care what anybody
If
says.
Fred were worried about what every person thought about his wine, he wouldn't be doing it.
Because
Everyone loves it.
about it.
But I
Even
guarantee
if they didn't.
you don't think that Fred's ever had somebody come up and taste his wine and say that ain't good.
Probably a lot.
You're fucked up if you
Yeah.
don't think that.
Yeah.
Because some people are nasty ass people.
There's some people that I know that just don't like the type of wine that I make. It's not
I
their
love
style.
Some people are just assholes and they don't want to tell you that you make good things.
They're
That
jealous.
too.
Jealousy is a big thing.
It would be awesome. It
But
ain't
let
good.
me tell you, I was an outsider during most of this, and just like Fred was, first time meeting Fred was at the Farm to Bottle this year, and I got a lot of Jen, watch your language. Jesus.
You don't tell her what to do.
I'll go on.
Jerk.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell her nothing. It's all, babe, not in front of the fellas. Anyways, we were outsiders, and we came from a jeeping community, and when we, from the first time, meeting Fred and Chris for the first time at a moonshine event, and the way everybody, welcomed us. I even, because I went to a couple places before, and I told my wife, I'm like, this ain't like no Jeep event. I said, this is.
I've heard Jeep events, they're clicky as fuck.
They
It's
are.
they
They are.
got their own cliques. It's a who dick.
How do you know, Dylan? Are you a Jeeper?
No, I just know a lot of people that own Jeeps.
We know Sturge is because he made love to mine,
That's a fact.
Well, Josie's hot.
but we, we've
Leave him
been.
alone.
That's what we've been used to. And I told her, I said, this is a whole different world.
Why does the camera angle make Fred look like he's taking a poop?
You're a family.
His
Look,
shank-
I'm sitting on a bucket.
You
We
know,
used to do
Yeah.
this in the back
We-
of
friends.
in the back of
plumbing vans.
work vans.
Yeah, I've been there before, bro.
we got,
Natural.
you know,
Hey, Sturge, you
Sorry,
want to see
go ahead.
your
Fred's
You wanna see
rudely
something,
interrupting you.
It's
What?
okay, we love
You
you.
want to see something, bud?
Don't do it. Don't do it. We'll get it.
Do it.
If you pull
You know what's
something
in there?
What?
And where?
I'm trying to do the camera.
out, well, you froze, brother. Damn Wi-Fi.
There it is.
Like nothing.
But anyways, while Fred's froze, I'll go ahead and finish my story here. You know,
That's your stainless steel tank right now.
we go into this community and it's like we're nobodies that don't really know anybody. Then we leave there and we leave there with tons of friends. You know, we got people like Jason Davis, John Benz. We got the Joneses, you know, Kentucky or Tennessee. And it's completely unweird. And we got like Fred and Chris. I mean, whoever thought that we'd be with the winery? I mean, my wife like a winery, but I remember being the outside guy hanging out at the camper. Fred and Chris coming over, introducing themselves, hanging out. Who would ever thought that we'd be as tight knit as what we are? And
That's what we do. Peanut, that is what we do. Every festival we go to, we meet someone and we become best friends.
Yep.
A couple weeks later, they're at our house getting jacked up on Mountain Dews. You know?
But, you know, I love it.
You think I can feel my leg?
Which one?
No.
You come in here and with you and your legs that you can feel.
Oh, yeah, he's going to.
Let's see.
I'll
Go.
do it. I'll do it.
You know,
And he says, I hope you and your kids can't feel their fucking legs.
it just goes to show that
I'm sorry.
the camaraderie and the familyness, you know. We got, you know, Big Easy and Phil Billy, they got me into this, you know, which we'll scuffle back and forth with each other, but it's all out of love. When push comes to shove, we're all there for each other.
Sit your ass
And
down.
that's
I don't know who
the
the
thing
fuck
that
you think you're
amazes me
barking
about
to.
this whole community. You know?
Fucking know better than that. I was wrestling her.
Oh, yeah.
Phil, if you want to
Phil, you want that peanut?
out, we'll do it.
I'm not trying to have a who dicks bigger contest, but
It's
Do you want us to do it?
I like them all.
Mine's thick and long.
Yeah. Mine's, well, I told you before, I can't knock the bottom out of a coffee cup, but I'll split the sides out of that bitch.
Okay.
He ain't hitting no ovaries, but I'll tell you what, though.
And Fred's just
I'm
sitting there
built like a
quiet,
chicken.
like, I'll fucking own you all.
Fred's like, don't make me whip that bitch out.
Nah.
I don't think Fred said that once. I didn't hear Fred say that.
Nah.
He ain't had enough to drink yet. You know, I thought Chris was putting the kids to bed.
I
It
thought that
sounds like
is
he
that a
really gets
chihuahua in the
understand.
background? What is that noise?
The
Oh,
kids
those are the kids.
Yeah, that's going to bed.
They're having a damn good. That's why Chris said, I'll see you in 2 hours. I'm putting the kids to bed.
They're kicking his ass right now.
Them kids are having the blast, top of their life right now, man.
What are they doing?
Kick
Hold on, let me get a check on them.
Like, no, man, we ain't going to.
It's gonna get loud.
It's
Hell,
okay.
Hold
I have 4 kids.
on, I'll show you what they're doing.
Are they playing Foursquare?
No, they turn the basement into like a big playhouse. They're just throwing the ball and stuff around.
They're
Hell
not
yeah.
even close to bed.
Nah,
No, they got to wind down.
Chris is still trying.
This is
Wind
them
down.
winding down. Huh?
Where's
They're not-
Chris at?
He's right
trying
here making mac and cheese.
So the mac and cheese I'm trying tomorrow.
You see that? We got a little helper.
Is that baked mac and cheese or what?
That's the only kind of mac and cheese there is.
I agree.
Joe,
There he is.
too much cheese.
Here's one, and then we got another pan.
Is that all we're having for dinner?
That's all that Chris is eating. And then the girls are just sitting here.
I'm not just sitting here.
Relaxing.
Let me say hi to Amy.
How many teeth did you brush today?
None.
Me?
Oh, okay.
Only
3.
my own.
Well, I brushed 5 sets today.
I brushed 3 sets. I haven't brushed
Did
mine
you?
yet. Yeah.
It was the worst. Hi.
Well, they've got a lot
How
of
many
cavities.
braces did you go through?
Braces?
Yeah. Did you floss?
How
I
many
never
braces did I floss?
Yeah. I had to
My
floss
kids-
Elijah's braces, and
They don't
the
have
worst.
braces yet. I can't afford the braces yet. They want like $5,000 down, and I can't do it.
I had
I know.
time when I was young. And
They
There's
was
a
like,
really
"You're
good
gonna be
care
a
store stock.
$5,000
I don't know if
deposit,"
they're
and I was like, "Well, that's interesting." They're like, "What's that?" I was like, "That's not gonna happen right now."
hey,
I was like, "How about a payment plan?" They're like, "We don't do that here." So we got a different doctor guy.
Dennis.
I had to because her teeth were like, it was either braces or she was gonna have major dental surgery in her future.
Yeah, that's where Kendall's at right now. She's really full of teeth right now. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I picked some.
Well, I
Well,
haven't done. I haven't knocked it down until I don't take payments.
Where we're at, they didn't take payments. Like it wasn't an option.
Oh.
No,
Yeah.
no, they wanted $5,000 deposit before we did anything.
Oh,
Yeah. So
we got
this
you hooked
one
up.
they do it's $5,000, but they will give you they let you do payments. And
Yeah,
then
not
they
ours.
also- Huh?
My wife's like, My wife's like, "What do you think?" I was like, "Well, you can tell them we don't have that." Like,
Yeah.
you know,
We got you the hookup, man.
I forget your wife is a dental person.
Yeah, we got you covered, bro.
So she can do it down here in the studio.
We'll put
right.
braces on
That's
right
right.
down here, boy.
We'll bring some.
Wait, Peanut, your wife just does braces?
Yeah, she does
Where does
braces,
she work?
builds teeth, and all that stuff. Right here in town at Dr. Cochran's office.
Springfield.
Oh.
She's been doing this.
She's like a physician's
20-some
assistant
years.
for dental.
Yeah, she like
Yeah,
builds
yeah.
and does all the.
She's
organ
gonna
stuff.
fix my tooth. That's really yellow.
Yeah, she's very good at what she does. I'm proud of her.
Is she gonna get Sturge a discount then?
I hope so.
Probably she'll probably do down here in the basement.
I had a
Still
root canal
trying
when
to
I
get
was like 11 years old on this big tooth,
Ugh.
and now it's like full of blood and yellow.
I'm still trying to get her to give me a grill.
I just had a root canal a couple weeks ago, and I took 3 Valium.
Dude, it's the worst. I had it when I was like 11, 12 years old, and then I didn't know that like normally you got them when you were older, and they deteriorate your tooth when you get them. So now
Yeah.
we're sitting on like I'm 34 years old. I got it when I was like 12 or something like that. So we're sitting on that many years later. Now I have like a hollow yellow tooth.
Mm,
Yeah, it sucks.
that is sick.
Well, my mother was on like crack cocaine and methamphetamine, so like my teeth were super fucked up when I was a kid.
But however,
Oh.
food still helps.
What?
Wait, what?
It is true.
Copenhagen helps.
Copenhagen.
Well,
Copenhagen.
Cheers, guys.
What are you drinking?
Cheers.
Wine.
From where
Imagine
at?
that.
Where at?
$7.
I don't know. It's probably from Kroger.
You got some $7.
Barefoot.
Ew. No, I'm good.
No, seriously, gross.
that was probably some of the best.
Seriously,
fun we've
like
had.
super gross. Like barefoot. Gross.
What do you Yes.
What
I
is-
know. When
what
is
is-
it going to be the ladies' turn?
My ladies or
Tomorrow.
my ladies?
All wives podcast.
All the ladies.
No, I heard tomorrow is ladies' nights to drink.
No, I'll tell you something.
I can't do it tomorrow night. I got to take my kids to my mom's house, and apparently they clogged the toilet. So.
At your mom's?
Mhm.
When you gonna
Are
do
you
an
gonna
all
unplug- are
wives
you gonna-
podcast?
Are you gonna unclog the toilet while you're there?
Look at Chris over there. He's doing a real
Yeah.
good job getting his
Is Chris going with you?
Chris.
No.
Are you gonna take a toilet snake?
Yep.
You are?
Yeah. How
Like-
else is it going to get fixed?
Like the big ass alder snake, the toilet snake? I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you a funny story. Literally on Wednesday, some lady
Don't
flushed
shut the refrigerator.
she flushed a tampon down, and this is like every month. It's like every month she calls because of it. So I told her, I'm like, listen, did you flush the tampon down? She's like, no. And I'm like, I know you say this every month. So this didn't help, but I like do it, and I went to the snake got stuck in the toilet, and I ripped it out, and it goes flinging in fucking water all over my face. I was so upset.
Oh, you got.
And she's like, "Why are you so mad? Why are you being rude?" I'm like, "I'm not trying to be rude right now, sweetheart." Like, but to be honest with you, I asked you if you did this, and now we both know you did. She's like, "No, the neighbor did." I was like, "The neighbor's 80 years old. I promise you, she didn't flush that down the toilet."
Mm-mm.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? I'm so amazing about age, and I know that's not possible. So
Yeah, Chris used to be a plumber, and he has lectured me on all the things that can and cannot be put on the toilet. However, our children, has he ever told you about our children playing sink or float?
No,
sounds great.
we're interested.
No?
No.
Yeah, I'll have to show you some pictures. I'll send you pictures later. But so Blippi has a show called, has like a portion in his show called Sink or Float, right? You ever heard of it, Blippi? Little orange and blue guy that like is kind of hokey and weird, but kids love him, right?
Okay.
So they wanted to play sink or float. Well, he plays sink or float in a plastic tub, and it's outside, and he like throws shit inside of this tub, and it's like, does it sink or does it float? And then they like talk about why it sinks and why it floats, whatever. So my children decided to play sink or float, and guess where they played it?
In the toilet.
In the fucking toilet. In the fucking toilet. And do you know what? You know what doesn't sink?
I don't know.
Fucking red Solo cup. That didn't fucking sink. But you know what they did? I'm gonna give you one guess what they fucking did.
What?
They shoved that fucker down the toilet, pushed it so far down with the little plunger thing that it got stuck, and it did sink essentially because they forced it to. So so Chris literally, this is after they put the fucking, they took all the ribbons from Christmas and put those down the toilet.
On top of the red Solo cup?
Well, they did the ribbon first, then the red Solo cup, then more ribbon, and then more toys, because we continue playing, because we're salmons, we don't fucking give up. So,
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah, I don't understand the problem.
Yeah, why would you stop?
You're either gonna play or you're not, Mom.
Anthony, sink or float.
Right.
Sink
or float.
You should play it. It's a fun game, apparently.
I'm not Dylan.
Sink or float.
Dylan and I will definitely play it.
Sink or float.
I did.
I'm saying sink.
We did. One time, I remember having to take my mom's toilet completely off. But there was a whole bar of soap.
Oh my god!
It sank, and it didn't move nowhere.
What's interesting, I can take a shit and clog a toilet. I don't got to put nothing in it. You know?
You gotta make sure.
You gotta play the sink or float game.
I know.
Sit down.
I play sink or throw with my turds. It's weird. I know it sounds weird. Or whatever.
So anyway, one day our toilets didn't work anymore. Go figure. But we didn't know that this game had happened.
Right.
And
Right.
So Chris has been snaking the toilet. He pulls out a long ass fucking ribbon from Christmas out of the pipe up on the top of the roof.
Yeah.
Right.
The vent.
And then we had to I say we, but I had to take the kids out of the house. He got to jackhammer up the entire basement floor and relay every single bit of plumbing from the main all the way through the bottom of the house. Like literally all of our plumbing.
Like
if
the
you ever
vent
buy
and
my
all.
house,
The vent and
plumbing
all.
is brand new.
So he ripped out a ribbon out of the vent, like from the roof?
Yeah. Yeah. It was like what, 6 feet, 4 feet? It was long ass fucking ribbon.
That it wasn't me, guys.
Did he get on the roof?
Every time.
Yeah. We had to take the snake up there to snake it from
So-
the top
so
because
Chris
it
got
couldn't
on
even
the
go down
roof?
the toilet. Because
I
there's
don't
a
get on
fucking
the roof.
Solo cup in there.
I'm so sorry.
What's a solo?
A
You know
solo
what?
cup. The red cups.
Red Solo Cup,
I can't wait. to
you fill me up. I Lordy.
It
I
couldn't
can't-
have been JoJo.
Do you know that song?
Me, yes.
That's a good
Um,
one.
Girls' night to get
So
drunk.
anyway,
Oh, this will be
yeah.
so good.
so we so every
That
bit of
scares
our
me.
plumbing is
Oh yeah,
is
but
done.
Well, the good news is you got new plumbing, sweetheart. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
yeah. We were trying to like just take it step by step, and like literally, I'm not even
grab me a
lying to
beer.
you. Shit was coming up out of the bottom, like out of the
That's
basement,
terrible.
and I was like, oh shit, and Chris goes, what? And I was like, no, literal, like it's literally shit.
That sounds like me on a drunken night. And my wife saying, "Who did this?" It wasn't me.
Houdini. Houdini.
So
All right.
gross.
Guys, this
All
has
right.
been going on for 3 hours and 20 minutes. So I got a lot of work to do on this episode.
See, now I'm just gonna call you out again every time I show up. You hop off.
That's not true.
Nah.
You've only showed up to the house one time.
Hey, we're
Okay.
on Facebook now. We got this.
Don't tell your husband not to tell you to show up when it's midnight.
Yeah.
I know.
That wasn't my fault. That was his fault.
I even texted him, and you guys saw that.
That was his. I did. That was his fault. Don't blame Sturge on that.
Yeah. That was actually, it was all Fred.
Listen, I'm
I
gonna tell you right now, straight up. When it's time for me to go to bed or do my duty, it's time to go home. And
Well, I
Fred-
literally said, I'm pretty sure like people are gonna want to go to bed. Come on over. We're gonna party.
Fred told me just let us know when to leave, and I said okay.
That's what he told me when I got home. I was
He
like,
literally told me he's like, just let us know when you want us to leave. I was like, all right, man, that sounds good.
Deuces.
And so I said, all right, it's time for me to go to bed because my wife was like in bed because she had drank a lot, and I was hoping that
yeah.
I didn't, because she was sleeping.
Yeah.
I'm
'cause
sorry.
then
But he still
That's
did.
okay. I woke her up. I was like, you asleep?
There's like a
I
point
said, are
where
you asleep? She's like, what's it fucking look like? And I was like, I was curious.
Yeah, there's like a 5-minute window.
That's what
Yeah. I was
she's like-
just about to say there's a very small window between
And she's like,
fun,
what the fucking look
fun
like?
drunk and then pass the fuck out drunk.
I was just curious. Are you trying to like practice baby Megan or whatever? And she's like, go to fucking bed. And I was like, okay. I'm gonna go watch Law and Order.
Like, I guess not.
Like, yeah.
I felt bad because you guys were headed home, and I was over here watching Law and Order, eating a fucking, pork rinds.
Yo, watch your hands.
Pork rinds.
I love pork rinds.
Do you?
Really. Oh yeah, of course. I'm on keto. Of course, I love
I
them.
can't see like who in the world is on here.
Margarita was the best pork rinds.
You don't
Who?
know any of these people?
Margarita
I know who they are, but not on.
From the
Yeah.
chat, I can read the chat, but it just says
Get the
Facebook
pork
user.
rinds. They come out.
Yeah, I know. I got to figure out why it says that. It never says that. It normally tells us who it is.
I'm
We're
not
gonna figure that out. Well, all right, guys.
Oh,
We're
all
gonna
right.
sign
I'll
off
talk to you
here.
later.
Bye.
Bye,
See
guys.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Wait, hold on. Let's sign off right.
All right. As always, I'm Big Sturge.
Justice League,
And I'm the peanut.
and you
And I'm
are.
Amy Salmons, but my name's not Fred.
Yep. And
And
we
we
are
American.
American whiskey.
Peace out.
Deuces.